Mm.
Proving that the fandom menace isn't just toxic white males. It's Toxic Femininity, brought to you by Midnight's Edge.
The hell's wrong with this remote control?
Well, Dad, I'm no electrician, but I'd say the trouble is the TV's gone.
Oh my god, I love that.
That's cool.
I'm so glad you do. I love freaking Married by Children.
Yeah.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the first combined panel with Toxic Femininity and Rogue Entertainment here on my channel, and we are so glad you guys are all here. How you guys doing?
We have a couple more penises than usual.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
One more, and hold on, two more.
Oh,
It's kind of even now.
now it's the Brady Bunch.
Everybody look down, look to the side. Oh my gosh.
Holy hell.
How is everybody?
The Boomer Bunch.
I'm doing great. I've been very excited for this. I get to stream with people that I love to talk to. I get to stream with Mary Mayhem. It was somebody that brought me in. Tom, who's always been supportive of me. My boy Final, Reina, OG. I don't think I've ever gotten a chance to really stream. Well, we did the author interviews once. And Jane, my girl Jane Theory. I'm really excited. Thank you to everybody in the chat for showing up. Please hit the like button and the share, just in case we're getting shadow banned.
Yes.
Right.
I had to tell me that they didn't get notifications when I went live or put up new videos, and they're subscribed to me. Freaking
I'm
wow.
not surprised. I'll tweet this out right now. Handle this
Yes.
business.
Thank you. Wow. So let me check out the chat because our chat's awesome. Yes, for those who you guys are regular me here on a Sunday, yes, we're an hour later because we have a special panel. So thank you so much for coming. So let's see, who do we have? Let me catch up with the chat to start with. Here's Nerd Cookies. Hey, Nerd Cookies. Hey.
Nerd cookies.
Yes. The Dune consigliere, I call her, because she does so many videos on Dune. So she says, everybody stop, leave a like, continue.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nerd Cookies. And according to Christy, the mod extraordinaire is here in the house. Love you, Christy. Give our mods a lot of love because they keep the place running. So
They're the best.
Definitely.
Love us some Christy. I like the new little icon thingy she's got there too.
Isn't that cute?
That looks
Yes.
great.
I thought her other avatar was cute with her new haircut. I thought it looked really cool.
Mm-hmm. Digging on it.
Oh, yes. And Tom says, hello, people. Hello, people. Matt G says, sup, Midnight's Edge after dark.
And I told Chrissy to kiss my grits.
She said, kiss my grits.
I told her to kiss my grits.
Oh, hang on a second, because you said that.
Mel, would you like to do something for me?
Yeah, what?
Kiss my grits!
What is a grit, anyways?
Old school shit. What is this?
What's this over here?
You never heard of grits?
Sure. I heard of grits. I just actually never seen a grit before.
I love that.
Great movie.
Such a good scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that
What
whole
is
movie's
that?
great.
What is that? I'm not familiar with that.
My cousin Vinny.
Oh, okay.
Seriously? Never seen. That's a great movie.
Danny DeVito,
Where-
Marissa Tomei.
I think it's
Joe
just city
Pesci,
folk. I
Yeah,
think
Joe
it's like
Pesci.
city folk. I think get that movie a little bit more than country folk.
And the little country gal.
Yeah.
And if you've ever traveled from the Northeast to the South, because I would always get sent south when I was a kid to stay with my grandparents, and they would like be in the middle of nowhere with weird food. And grits was one of those things where I'm just like, I'm not freaking eating that.
What?
Tell me,
Really?
is it normal for a train to be coming through here at 5 a.m. in the morning? No, sir, that's quite abnormal. Next day, I thought you said it was abnormal for the train to come through here at 5 a.m. every morning. That's right. He's kind of late. He usually comes through about 4:45.
Do you guys know the story behind Marissa Tomei's Academy Award with that movie? The alleged rumor. So the story
clock.
No. The story goes that it was Jack Palance was presenting the award for Best Actress that year, and apparently he opened up the envelope and was supposed to say Mira Sorvino, who was nominated for the Woody Allen movie. What was the Woody Allen movie? She plays the prostitute. Woody Allen falls in love with her.
She won for that one. So how does that work?
No, I thought that she. No, I don't think. I thought that was the same year. Marissa Tomei won. Maybe it was a different actress. Anyway, Jack Palance reads the wrong name and reads Marissa Tomei, and they went ahead with it because no one wanted to stop them, and she won the award instead. Maybe it wasn't Mira Sorvino then. Maybe it was a different actress.
Yeah, it had to be because she won.
I have to look
she won for that role.
Okay, I have to look at who she was against. There was someone else who was a favorite, and Marissa Tomei was an upset that year, and people couldn't believe that she won. And apparently, Jack Palance read the wrong name, but they just went ahead and went with it, and the Academy kind of covered it up. Now I got to find out who else that was because I thought it was Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, wow.
They covered it up because they didn't want to say, they don't want to stop Jack Palance live as he was reading it on stage, and then afterwards they didn't.
But yet
want
they did that 2 years ago.
What's that?
But yet they did that 2 years ago when the wrong movie was announced.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up now to see who else she was against.
Get some help.
Let's see who else is in the chat here. We have Caffeinated Wolf. I guess this is for Mary. He says, "Bye, baby." 3 hearts.
I thought it was for me.
No, if we have one more freaking ship with Andrew that isn't me, I'm going to hurt someone. He's been shipped with Jesse from Exaggeration Nation.
Mm-hmm.
He's been shipped with Han Star. He's been shipped with Justin. I think he's even been shipped with Tom. Everybody ships my boyfriend with everyone but me.
I still haven't got this ship yet. I've been waiting all week for it. Someone promised me a ship. I hope it's a dinghy or a yacht. But...
You want a dinghy, emphasis dinghy.
I got you to say dinghy.
Oh God, I love this freaking show. Oh, Christy says boomer moment. Yeah. Jane says, "Hey guys." Matt G, oh my God, like no way, OG Star Wars. Oh my God, way, yes, OG Star Wars is in that.
Yes,
She's here. Yes, I'm here.
She is here. And one of my favorite YouTube handles, because I spoke it into existence, Karen Prime says, "Evening, girls and boys."
Karen Prime. I love it. I love it so much.
It is freaking perfect.
Jeremy would be so proud.
So glad you're here, my dear. And Tom doesn't count, Mary. That's what Christy said.
That's why I told her to kiss my grits, and then she told me to kiss her entire ass.
Damn.
She keeps this up. People are really going to think we're a fucking old married couple.
You need to take full advantage of that, Tom. So when she says no, you say, "No, I have consent. You gave me consent."
You got a point there, Mary.
Somebody said kiss. Hey, hold on a second. Hold on.
Sorry about the inconvenience. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Kiss my entire ass.
One of my favorite movies.
Oh my God.
Oh God, I love it. R.I.P. Della Reese. I love that chick.
Mm-hmm.
Kai says, "Hey everyone, hey Kai."
Hey, Kai.
What's up, Kai?
Glad you're here with us. And McKinney 90. Hey, he says the ultimate crossover. Yes.
Right. Yes.
And can we get a mod to put out Makini 90's link to his Teespring, because he's doing a group of shirts that are inspired by some of our favorite YouTubers like Mary Mayhem and Reina Creole. So go check them out.
See, he's actually worked on this for me, which he's coloring in right now. So I can't wait to freaking see the final project. Oh my God. So it's gonna
And
be
as
really
an artist, I'm geeking out on all of this. You are doing awesome. I love it. I love it. Yes.
Oh, let's
Okay, so it's Vanessa Redgrave. I put the link.
I just had it up here.
Okay, you want to check
trying to figure it out, but
Vanessa Redgrave was supposed to be. I guess she was the one that was supposed to.
It was a celebrity conspiracy.
Yeah. But it's been around for a long time.
A celebrity conspiracy?
That's the it's an urban legend basically.
Well, here's what Snopes says with the fact check.
What?
Okay.
It is false.
No.
Okay.
Because, and I'm sure they can prove it because she probably got they give them not only the award, but they give them the envelope and shit too to keep. Yeah, and then they have the name engraved afterwards anyway, so it don't really matter.
Okay. Cool. Glad to see you smiling, Stephen. I just watched most of your videos.
Oh, hell, brother, sister. I don't mean to misgender you, Karen. I know that's an offense.
You gotta go speak to your manager now.
Christy's
manager of gendering.
Yeah.
My guess, if it is how that happened, final is you had a bunch of people that were talking to Vanessa, and they were like, "I don't know how she won. I voted for you."
Right. Yeah.
So it just had to permeate itself to the point where it must be true.
Became right.
Wait,
there was something with like the Marissa Tomei's nephew or some relation to the question. I don't know. It's it starts building upon things and it starts getting pretty unrealistic, but. Nevertheless, it's a.
So, in other words, you're just trying to say that Jack Palance was trying to name off who he wanted to fuck that night.
Remember, he was doing the.
Are we 15 minutes in?
Showing off.
Did everybody have their wine, their drink for that kind of talk? No.
I have a question about the cups of coffee in the chat. That's for Steven and the Folgers enema, right?
That's nerd cookies.
Sorry.
Nerd cookies. And then
Folgers in your butt.
That is coming into my coffee chats now. Your little private self is invading my coffee chats now.
Why are you putting coffee in your butt?
People are talking about it in my coffee chats. I'm like, we drink coffee normally here through the cup in the mouth, okay?
Oh my
That is disgusting.
It's out of control.
Stop putting coffee in your butt.
Taking just a life of its own.
It did.
What are you doing? Why are you people doing this? This is so stupid. Why are you putting coffee in your butt? Yeah.
Somewhere around here, I have a beer check funnel. I feel like we can accommodate Steven so easily.
Who had this idea?
That's gross.
Well, hello, Captain Trek. He says, Reina Creole, good evening. Welcome to our madness here.
You shouldn't get coffee in your bum. It's not a good idea.
Even I get a little higher.
It's very, very ignorant.
We drink it normally. You guys are safe.
I feel like we should get, because I have an espresso machine, right, in storage. We can get that out, make that shit potent as hell and see just how boingy we can make Steven. I want to see.
I'll put coffee in my butt for the right price. I'm just saying. We're talking thousands, dozens of thousands. Maybe we got a shot at this.
No, Steven.
Shot of espresso.
We'll mix it with milk. It'll be great.
Oh,
Oh my.
How about blue milk?
Jane, you did this. This is your fault, Jane.
I did not. It
What
was
about
nerd
blue
cookies.
milk?
Oh my god! Yes, I know.
Green.
I need a lot of people. I'm behind on wrenches, but yes, Mary does need a wrench.
Yay!
A couple other people
I don't
do.
have a wrench either. I don't know
What
what something.
wenches where?
You
You get a
don't?
wrench.
Oh
You
my
get a wrench.
gosh! You know what, you guys? I'm gonna have to wrench you. Let me see.
get a
Let me
wrench.
see.
Yay! I promise not to completely bludgeon.
Wait. Did you say wrench or wench? Because if you said wrench, I'm in the wrong fucking place.
Oh my
Oh my
god!
god, this is hilarious.
And the
Oh
wheel
my
of voices
gosh.
goes round and round, round and round, round and round. Y'all are like discussing and stuff.
Steven, say something in the chat real quick.
Okay, all right.
Congo, motherfuckers!
Hurry up.
And I'm done for
I
now.
know, I gotta.
Wait, where is it? Where is it? Come on.
Oh, I'm coming. Wait, phrasing.
Phrasing, yeah.
I just had some kind of mental breakdown just in case anybody wants to know.
Don't do that.
Okay, all right.
We put her off air to do that shit. How long does it take to type something, Steven?
I don't see any.
The
I
chat
don't
come
see
up.
it either, but you know what? Let's see Captain Track. Who
Hey.
else? Hi, 6 baby Wookiees in a trench coat. I love that. Love that avatar. Can't stay modding right now, but had to blow kisses to Mary Mayhem. Oh, there we go.
Aww.
Thank you so much.
Love it.
Thank you, Nina.
It.
Appreciate that.
Let's
hell out of it.
see.
You perpetuate the coffee thing too.
Hey, Nina. Let's see. Learning Creole, Miss Richards. Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Steven's slow ass internet is destroying my joke.
Oh my
I
god! Yeah.
Where?
That was from the after party stream where I told the story where it's only by the grace of God that Mick Jagger wasn't my dad, and somebody said, "Yeah, it could have been worse. It could have been Keith Richards."
Oh. I didn't see you type anything, Steven.
It's between Jane Theory and Matt G. He's on my
I'm not seeing you.
I don't see it either.
And I do not.
You've been ghosted.
This is bull crap.
It goes to you.
Whatever, I don't even
Censorship.
care anymore. My joke is ruined.
I'm sorry.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So,
I feel better now.
Okay, good.
Mary, how did you delete his message?
Oh, it says deleted. I never even got to see it.
That's what you wanted to do. Look at that. Oh my god.
Oh, short-lived.
All hail my power.
This is what we do for entertainment, folks.
Help me out.
That was
my
quick.
god.
Nerd cookies.
Okay, hey, script doctor. He says, "Final. Were you thinking that Miranda Richardson won the Oscar instead of Marissa Tomei?"
No, Marissa Tomei won for My Cousin Vinny. It was Vanessa Redgrave was apparently that's the urban legend. She was supposed to win, but it was Marissa Tomei's name that was called by Jack Palance.
Dee Dee Myers, hello. I don't think I've seen you on my channel before. Welcome. He says hello and greetings.
Hello.
He says, let's ship Tom and Mary. Their couple name would be Terry. Then they can go on a cruise. Terry Cruise.
Up on all romantic aspirations with me last night during Monster Seeking Monster. I tried to hit him back on the DMs. He was like, "No, your chance is over." And I was like, "Okay."
Shellback says $5 super chat. I love you all. Just for Mary. I haven't been shipped with Andrew yet, and to be honest, I'm a little salty about it.
That's what he said. Giggity.
Oh my gosh! Hey Trey Courtney, how you doing?
Trey. Thank you for being here, brother.
I got her. Yeah, she's bringing the mayhem with the best. Hey, who's the distraction? He says, "Hi, Trey Courtney. Welcome to Walton's Bed." And James with the coffee. And wait a minute. And here's Andrew.
Wait, was it my fault this time? Who's in the doghouse specifically? Is it me or Shellback? Because if it's Shellback, I'm good with this. But if I did something wrong, sorry. I don't know. Oh sorry.
Oh Lord. It's
Andrew. Oh
no.
Oh. This is my fault. This is my fault.
Nina.
Turtle Wolf.
Turtle Wolf.
Turtle Wolf?
I knew that came quickly.
He's already with the dolphin, all right? And do you know what happens when a dolphin and a wolf mate? They have otters, little water puppies.
Can I throw up now or?
Hi, Lady Mist. Welcome. Welcome so much to our very, very interesting panel here that we have. We are just having an absolutely freaking good.
This is better than your average intro. Way better, I think.
Heck yeah.
Normally they're like, hey, here's me and my channel. We're all like, let's put some coffee in your butt.
I talk about what animals make what when they mate.
Yeah.
In the butt, put the boogie in your butt. Put the boogie in your butt. I mean, I ain't singing about putting nothing in nobody's butt.
Doing the butt. Whoa, yeah.
Doing the butt.
Wrong song.
Doing the butt.
EU. Wow, I haven't heard that in ages.
Y'all need to get cultured. That's Eddie Murphy that I'm singing.
Yes, that was Eddie Murphy, and another one.
What's
is-
this? $100? You're just gonna give me $100 and I'm gonna sing about putting stuff in people's butts?
Not gonna put no tree.
I
nobody's
learned my
butt.
lesson the hard way the other day about money and butts and putting things in them. So no more jokes for me about that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna let's see.
That's not how the force works.
Chrissy is trying to get. Okay, stay okay. Okay,
Yes.
all right,
My bad.
all right. Okay,
Chrissy's like, get back on track.
get back on topic. Okay, well, we have a couple of different topics, but you know, as this is my channel, and anytime I do anything on host on my channel, I have to start with the Florida man story.
Hell
But
yeah.
in this case, it's not a story per se, but it's more of, do you know Florida Man has a freaking graphic novel now?
What?
I had no idea.
What?
Check it out.
Look, it was only a matter of time.
Hey, man, y'all got beer still?
You've seen the stories. Now, writer Mike Barron and artist Todd Mulrooney are bringing the quintessential Florida man, Gary Duba, to life. Gary's just a regular guy living in a trailer with his girlfriend Crystal, but he's got dreams, big dreams. He just invented house suspenders that will secure any home to the ground in rough weather. He's going to swarm off on Piranha Pool, the TV show where venture capitalists and entrepreneurs pony up if they like your pitch. But when his gal Crystal gains notoriety as an infamous amateur wrestler, she quickly advances to the pro circuit where her greatest challenge is an angry Australian grappler. Gary and Crystal on their extraordinary journey from rags to riches. To rags, to riches, to rags, to riches.
Oh, wow.
Lady lawyers, toilet snakes, wild gators, cheating hearts, feral hogs, and problem shoppers. Back Florida Man today and reserve your very own copy of the Florida Man graphic novel. We're bringing back funny books, y'all.
Nice.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
Skit commercial.
Please back that project.
Yes,
Oh my
absolutely, absolutely.
Wow.
Because
That's amazing.
seconds,
Wow.
the Indiegogo, because I actually I just bought my copy today.
Really?
Just bought my copy today, and here it is. Okay, so it's over here on what happened bottom, over there on Indiegogo. Just do a search on Florida Man graphic novel. So they've already oh well, that was new. That was new. I like that FaceTime.
All right, let's go. Let's get the coffee out. All right.
I have a fresh brew going on right now.
I can go get some coffee right now. Let's do this.
So yeah, so this is a graphic novel. I already bought a copy. They have hit their goal, but they have like 14 days left. So definitely check it out if you are so inclined.
Is anybody else hearing feedback?
Yeah, I'm hearing that.
Ooh. Not it.
No.
Testing.
Testing.
Oh,
Oh, say, can you see?
Why are you singing about Jose?
Because Jose can see.
Oh, now the artist, actually, he was on my live stream last Sunday, and I'm hoping to bring him back next Sunday on my stream. And the illustrator actually did this trading card for me.
Why does she?
Nice.
Why do you have no neck?
That's cool.
I'm supposed to be a lady wrestler. I don't know. I just let the artist do what they do.
I like it, except you don't have a neck.
I know.
She's leaning forward.
I think it's like you're in the ready for combat pose right there.
Right.
I said
That's what it
channel
is.
the gorgeous ladies of wrestling because I love the glow wrestlers. I thought
You should make a Twitch and then like make that one of
That
the.
looks like you.
You should make a Twitch and you should make.
Yes, it does.
But then,
It
like,
looks like Lorena.
It's supposed to be, right?
It's supposed to look like.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part.
yeah, it looks like you. But like, you should make a Twitch and make that one of the emotes, and then whenever it plays, you should have like a little soundbite of you going, "You want to wrestle?"
Want to wrestle? Come on, darling, let's wrestle.
Go for it.
Okay, now you guys got me thinking about setting up a Toxic Femininity mud wrestling contest. Hang on. I'm gonna look into this.
You're the referee, right, Tom?
Well, duh.
I need express permission from Andrew first, but I am so down.
Andrew.
We love you,
and we got in the Jello round is the best.
Oh my god!
Andrew, what is your asshole in Jello?
There. Yes,
Anybody out there know where you can get like 5,000 pounds of Jello?
We could trade all the nearby Walmarts.
Yeah, but you got to make it then, or you got to. Well, I suppose you buy a bunch. This is going to be not very cost effective either way we do this.
You need to chill. You need a big refrigerator too to chill that.
These things are important. You got to think of all this crap. We got to have insurance. We got to have.
You're just gonna have to, I guess, send Tom super chat so we can get that Jello.
Yes. Send me some Jello super chats.
Hey,
Andrew, what if I told you it's my life's ambition to wrestle in Jello with Alora and Lorena? What if I told you that?
Oh,
that's your life's ambition? Is that what you just said?
And well, we gotta get our whole group together as well. So like,
we got to get everybody involved.
Yeah. Just make it like a giant Toxic Femininity fandom menace women wrestling match.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Last one standing lives. And by
Take
lives,
my money.
lives? We
Christy's like, what the fuck? What are you worried about, Christy? You'll probably beat everybody's ass.
No.
It'll be like Lorena and Christy last women standing with knives and shit, and it's just gonna be bloody and shit.
Bullshit. I'm an asshole. I can bludgeon people.
You might make it to the near final round.
Nice one, okay? Don't underestimate the quiet, nice one.
Depends. Do you know karate, Mary?
No, but I'm gonna fight dirty with sporks.
Sporks.
You better make sure I'm not looking when you're using a spork. You better make sure I'm not looking, or I will like say foul.
Well, Showback has a question for you, Tom. He says, "Can I pre-order tickets for that?"
Fuck yes. Send all your monies to me.
We need Toxic Femme booty shorts too to wear. You know that. With the big old tits on the butt on both sides.
Fuck yes.
On the ass.
Yes.
Pink and green and blue and all that shit. Hell yes.
Bikini says, "Women of the Fandom Menace death match."
You guys know what I'm talking about. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be the event of the year, folks.
Sport
I love it.
Pay per view.
Have to have Fatal say Sunday.
Right.
There we go.
Sunday.
Well, speaking of laughs, have you guys heard the latest about Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus?
I have, because you told me.
Well, I know. Why don't we let the audience know what this is?
Yeah.
Something that makes no sense.
Well, it does, but here's what happened. Here's the part that they're not telling you, at which they kind of danced around the article. There was actually the Disney stockholders meeting that was held a couple of months ago. They made a big to-do showing this trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming on Disney Plus. And yes, it's going to be in August. It's going to be here in August. And it's going to be awesome. And it's just going to really bring in those subscribers to Disney Plus. But guess what? Falcon and the Winter Soldier no longer releasing on Disney Plus in August.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it just in August, or it's leaving Disney Plus altogether?
Just in August.
In August, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I know why. I can give you guys a quick answer
Social
here.
distancing.
Well, yes, they're socially distancing themselves from the Winter Soldier because he's too white. No. If you guys recall, a couple months back, and Script could probably back me up on this, he's in the chat. A couple months back, they announced that they had to do some reshoots because there was a storyline that had to do with virus. So they wanted to redo that. But guess what? They can't film anything right now.
Really? So what? This is getting pushed back indefinitely so they can do some reshoots over.
Yeah.
This is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That's my guess.
August, but I'll read through this real quick. So, Marvel Studios' The Falcon and the Winter Soldier will not be released on Disney Plus in August, as previously announced. The first show made by Marvel Studios and set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe will see Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan step into leading roles.
Did you just call him Anthony
I probably
Mackie?
did.
That is so cute and adorable. Now I want to ship you two.
I don't even know where the heck that came from.
He's such a Anthony. She wants to make him her Manthony.
The Manthony.
He's the Manthony.
He's very Manthony.
I'm sorry. I never got the appeal. Anthony Mackie looks like, I don't know, he just looks scruffy to me, you know? I don't know. I never got the appeal.
He's scruffy looking.
Not even in like
nerve herder.
I'm like, after that the one where he was calling like freaking Disney out for being racist or Marvel out for being racist or whatever with the whole Black Panther thing. Like ever since I saw that video where he looks like a freaking skunk died on his face, I'm just sort of over here like, nah.
That was last night.
Last night?
And the after party after the debate stream.
I was hoping
I missed that out.
I was hoping that was an invitation. Let's go.
Oh no, not gonna do that.
Let's go right now.
So Sam and Bucky stories, blah blah blah, continue after the events of Avengers Endgame. Sam getting the shield to become the new Captain America, whatever. So I don't know where they got this from. Oh, this is Screen Rant. No wonder. Fans have been eager to see what the Falcon and the Winter Soldier will be about ever since it was revealed that MCU shows were in development for Disney Plus. Kevin Feige has said that these shows will be heavily connected to the ongoing MCU story as they give supporting characters a chance to lead or introduce new ones like U.S. Agent Wyatt Russell. This led to immense speculation over whether the MCU Disney Plus era will begin, and it was confirmed earlier this year that Falcon and the Winter Soldier would be released in August. That was during the annual stockholders meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That was before coronavirus shut down production on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and now it appears Disney has quietly confirmed the series won't be released as planned. So that should make the earnings call in 2 weeks quite interesting.
I hope you rip them a new one.
I could, but they only let us peons talk once a year at the stockholders meeting.
Oh.
So I'm hoping the stockholders will rip not the stockholders, the investing houses will rip them a new one because they keep asking about concrete numbers and growth about Disney Plus, and Iger does not give a straight answer to it at all. And it comes up every single call. So the fact that they pimp this so heavily at the stockholders meeting and now it's not coming out in August as it was supposed to, they're probably going to be bringing that again. And
there's no good excuse for it. I mean, what would be the explanation? It's supposed to be released on a streaming service.
They must not have finished filming it. They probably rushed the news out before they were done filming
Well,
or getting a chance to do the
They
reshoot.
had ample time.
If what Tom's saying is true and they're worried about the whole fact that, the C-bug and the reshoots because they don't want to throw something out that would remind people, oh my God, as if we needed reminding that this is going on all around us, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're worried about, which I think is the stupidest reason in the entire world. You're delaying this thing, right? And what the hell's keeping Disney Plus going right now? Not fucking much. That's what I'll tell you.
I mean, Hayden came and went,
Right.
Miranda got his $75 million. He's out. There's hardly anything else planned. Beyonce has something, I think, the end of the month. But there's nothing really.
Well, there's also a Mandalorian 2, season 2 is supposed to come out in the fall, but I mean, who knows? Is that going to get delayed next now? Or
Well, I think in this case, maybe from a creative standpoint, since they've had all this time to be home and maybe do some rewrites, flush out the entire universe, whether they're going to present, if they're going to connect the TV series with the movies, with cinematic universe, maybe there's changes being made overall that have affected the show or that they need to redo. That's the only thing I can think of.
But is it going to also delay the other shows? Because I mean, this isn't the only one we were looking forward to.
Yeah, but isn't he? He's going to be the new Captain America, right? The Falcon.
Right.
So, I mean, wouldn't that be integral to the overall cinematic universe?
It is, but what I'm saying is the network or the streaming service was also going to release Loki, WandaVision. I mean, how many of these things are going to get pushed back?
I think WandaVision got delayed a little bit too, did it not? Or did I read something wrong?
I think I remember something about that as well. I can Google it real quick though.
Again, we also have to remember, like with scripted, confirm what I said before. A lot of the special effects houses and stuff, a lot of these people that are able to work on this stuff, and the editors and all that stuff are doing it from home now. So the remote work does take a little bit longer. So they may just need to add a few months to their schedule just so they can get that kind of stuff finished up too.
Yeah, it's saying WandaVision has been delayed until 2021.
So. Yeah, so they just must need a few more months to probably finish things up, because I'm pretty sure they were done filming that one. And they were in post-production on that. But you got to remember, these shows are on the same scales as their movies almost, so they've got a ton of special effects, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it takes time to put these together.
Also, you have to remember that Disney is also bleeding money.
Yeah, that's the other thing, yeah.
Yeah. The parks are closed. They should be focused on animation.
Maybe they can't pay for it right now. That's a very good point, Lorena. Maybe they can't afford
they can't afford to do the reshoots.
Well,
the reshoots they just can't physically do because of the bug.
Yeah.
But I'm like Lorena's. I don't know if that's what she was implying, but she could be right with that. Almost is, they may not have the funds to do this shit right now.
And they've been like borrowing, credit. They don't nearly have as many cash reserves as they used to. And then you have to remember all these parks. I mean, every day that the parks close, that's a couple million from the park. The parks, and the parks are what fund all the television shows, all the movies, the streaming service, all of that. So when your revenue stream is like whittled down to nothing, you have to kind of pick and choose about what you're gonna let out.
And Disney Plus has pretty much proven it's not gonna make the money they need. Because the quarter for Disney Plus was $55 million is what they brought in. If you stretch that out, okay, let's be nice and say they make $300 million a year off Disney Plus. That doesn't even cover the bill for Mandalorian.
Yeah. Right.
And this could have all been avoided had they just taken different choices with how they're promoting the whole Phase 4 of Marvel and what they did with Star Wars. I mean, this could have all been avoided. This thing should be just raking in cash.
Easily. Sorry, hold on 1 second. Willie, actually, they just said fall 2020. That's it. Instead of August, the only thing that was fall 2020, which could be...
Which is what they're saying with Mando, too, I think. It's just fall. I don't think they've given a month yet.
Well, how could they? Because I have a feeling these are going to get pushed back further. Because we're having a resurgence of the sea bug right now, and things are getting weirder out there. And so... I'm thinking this is just the beginning of probably a multitude of pushbacks, which seems silly to me because if you have this thing that's shot right and it just needs to be put out essentially, just do it, right? Just freaking do it, okay? If you have to tiptoe around that much, we have reminders all around us about the sea bug. Calm your tits, we're fine. People are resilient, or at least they used to
be.
Yes.
Yeah. And like Netflix not too long ago actually showed, they highlighted all of their virus films and television series. So like why now?
Outbreak was on there.
That's right. They're pushing it all.
And now they don't.
Outbreak was on their top 5 list, and The Stand was selling on Amazon in the top 5, I think it was, and the book too.
Articles in the paper comparing, the sea bug with The Stand, and
it's just like, why don't you think that they would see this shit? Just like the Gone with the Wind thing. The moment they did that, what happened?
Yeah.
Everybody went and bought Gone with the Wind to the point where it went up to like astronomical numbers on eBay, even though you could walk into almost every Walmart and buy it for $7.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, because I did.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to prove a point.
Yeah.
I already had my copy.
Yeah, I
went and got the special edition just for posterity.
I need to get this copied for Laura and Lorena. I forgot.
I'm waiting on it. No, wait.
I'm sorry.
I mean, Christy brings up a good point. Like, people are just subscribing to Disney Plus for a lot of these series. Many of the movies that are available, the series and stuff that's available on Disney Plus, most of us already have hard copies of.
Right.
So we're looking forward to new content.
I kind of want to go unsubscribe from Disney Plus right now just because of this announcement or whatever. But like I wonder how many people are going to do that. How many people are going to unsubscribe to Disney Plus?
Cannot, because I share an account with my sister, and Disney Plus is the only thing standing between her and her 3 little kids, driving her insane.
Oh Lord, you gotta keep that.
Well, the reason, the points that Steven just made and stuff like that are the reasons why it's not making much money right now.
Well, also remember, a lot of people got it for free. Like, I get it for free with Verizon.
There is that aspect
So, I
as
mean,
well.
I don't, I imagine when that runs out, I'll probably discontinue it because there's not. Why am I going to pay for it if there's
Hey,
no?
Lionel, what's up?
The point is, though, that basically, I don't know where the money's going or how they factor this shit out, but if they're really only bringing in $55 million a quarter and they have roughly 50 million subscribers, they're not making even they're making so little. I don't understand how this is factoring.
It's not even matching their filming for these movies, like for MCU and Star Wars. The cost or the money coming in for Disney Plus is not even matching their expenses to
Exactly, like CBS All Access. Yeah, and see, unlike CBS All Access, they don't have Netflix funding the shit on the other end.
Yeah.
These guys, they're spending the money themselves. So, I mean, that's where I'm thinking Lorena might be onto something, but they just don't have the money to finish the shit right now.
Yeah.
And that's why that one rumor that Doomcock had put out about the fact that, or not the fact, but the rumor that an investor, I guess, who had enough stock that if he made a move, he could tank it, demanded a showing of the Lucas cut, supposedly, and got it because they've been bleeding money. They still haven't been able to pay off Star Wars, and they keep getting asked every earnings call, what is your plans for Star Wars? What is your plan for this IP? And they're they've never gotten an answer, and they've freaking had enough because Disney's they are freaking bleeding. They're bleeding money. They're bleeding money. The Hong Kong shut down, and Disneyland isn't even open yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what strikes me and look, I think it's important to note, like, probably the mentality here is that they have a very easy scapegoat here. Oh, it's just the parks, right? It's just the parks. And so they can't point at all of this other stuff that are real problems, I think, within the whole sort of Disney dynasty, if you will, that are real problems, right? And so you don't have those parks to make that up, but that's the easy scapegoat. And there's a really sadistic part of me that, and I know this is completely irrational and even vile in some ways, but there's a sadistic part of me that hopes that, like, this whole pandemic thing continues long enough to just fucking bury him in the dirt 6 feet under and make them have to rethink some of their decisions.
You might get your wish because right now everything's looking at being on hold for another year. And I'm not even being hyperbolic here. I've heard from several sources that the numbers going around is everything's going to be shut down for another 9 to 12 months. So here's the thing, and I hear, all the people are like, oh, well, everything's going to come to streaming and this, that, and the other. What we were just talking about with like Disney Plus, that's a proof that it's not going to happen, at least not in the near future. They can't afford for that to happen. They have to wait and hope and pray they can open theaters soon so they can get these movies out there so they can get back into production, because they're not going to start releasing anything until they're back in full swing. So until cameras start rolling on shit, we're not going to see any big movies, folks.
No.
So if they're say they are bleeding money, would it get so bad that they would actually have to sell off an IP? And if so,
theoretically, maybe.
If so, okay. So if so, what do you think they would sell off?
Disney. Well, here's the other problem you guys have to think of too, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, so and so is going to sell this. They're just going to do that and buy this off, or sell this off, or whatever." There's no other companies out there that have the liquidity right now to really buy anything. So if anybody does any buying, it's probably going to be only one of few places that have any cash, and that is like Apple, Amazon, and that's it. So like we're looking at a situation where, and Apple's in a position where they could do a hostile takeover of Disney if they wanted to.
There's been rumors about that before. Them kind of
well, basically all it would take was George Lucas to sign off on it and be a part of it. And this is a very real plausibility. If the stock, and Lorena, you probably can speak more to this. If the stock falls below a certain point, it's vulnerable. And if Apple as a company sees that as they're destroying themselves and they have that big of an investment, they can come in and take over the company.
They can, because there was a point where the stock had dropped below $100 and it was headed towards, I think, like between 70 to 80. And it was heading towards that point where, it was going to become such a bargain that people probably put orders in, like stock orders that said, if Disney stock drops to this amount of money, this is how many scoops of stock that I want you to buy. And that's very, very real, because I was looking at it too. I'm like, if it drops, it'll never get as cheap as when I bought it. I bought it for like 30 freaking bucks a share 10 years ago. And I should have bought more. But at the time, I just got a couple just, say I had it. But there are traders out there with with blocks of money and to buy blocks of stock, and they actively look for that price to drop to a certain limit. And remember, they bought Bob Iger back. He never really went away. They bought him back to stop that stock's price slide. Well, remember.
Jesus.
That's incredible. Yeah, I want to feel like Mary, but I think she's also thinking about the fact, and where we all are, that, there's a lot of jobs attached to Disney. And we don't want to see people get hurt. Don't want to see them lose their jobs. Like when I think about the parks, reopening, I haven't really tried to come down on that, but the reality of it is that they are bleeding. They're hemorrhaging money right now.
Yeah.
And before the bug, they were completely obstinate toward fandoms. They were completely obstinate toward customers. They just, this is what it is. This is what you're going to get. We don't care how you feel, how you see these things. And now they're in a kneeling position, almost as much money as they've lost, where they're going to have to really think about how they project or how they create these franchises, how they build them in the future, how they present them, because they've already shamed and ostracized large blocks of these fandoms.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that I look forward to, is seeing if they're going to start honoring our modern mythologies instead of using them as a platform.
Go ahead, Jane.
I think it is an interesting slap in the face. I wonder how entitled they felt to our money, right? They must have felt so entitled to the money because it flowed so easily for so long, right? And then something like this slaps them in the face, and they get a little bit of a wake-up call. Hey, this money isn't a given, right? It's not just going to show up on your doorstep. Things actually have to happen in order for you to get our money, because it's not your money. It's our money first. We have to decide to spend that money with you, and right now people can't make that decision, but I do feel like it's one of those sort of moments where you get a nice real reality check, a wake-up call, something hopefully that they'll take to heart. This money isn't a given. It can go away real quick. It can dry up real quick, and there are a lot of different scenarios that can be presented to make that happen. This is a scenario where you don't have any control, but I do think it puts some of the control back in our hands, where we can say, oh, that's right, this isn't a given. You aren't infallible. This dynasty can fall, and it's hilarious how it just takes a little bug to do it, right? And so I think that's an interesting reality check for them, and I look forward to seeing how they reassess what they do moving forward.
Well, they are reassessing with it, because if you take a look at the rumors just with Star Wars and the possible sequel trilogy being discanonized, I guess you can say, and the higher ups and them shifting and all this all goes coincides together. What's going on there. This is a wake-up call. This no matter how we agree with how to go about living during this time, this, for the corporates, especially a big monopoly like Disney, this is really putting the shackles on them, and they're realizing that they're losing money because of what they did before we came into the bug issue.
That's not solid.
And to bring it back actually to the parks as well, Disney has been fleecing park goers for years.
Yes.
For years, jacking up prices on everything. And I never thought I would say this, but to the point where the average person or the average family really can't afford to go, or they have to save for years to go. And people who can afford it, we're just like, we're not freaking paying that that money. We're
Well,
not
and
paying
look,
that.
the
We can go somewhere
experience.
else.
I went to the parks. I went to Disney back in September of last year, and it was actually it was probably the worst vacation I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
That
I went
sounds
on
like when I went.
Well, look, there's an alienation. This whole PC, this politically correct culture that's surrounding Disney. Disney used to have, and I'm going to speak from the vantage point of a smoker right now, right? Someone who does something that is a nuisance to some people, right? But Disney used to have the right idea about smokers, right? You take a smoker and you stick them in an out of the way area of the park, right? You go stick them in a little corner, make 4 or 5 little sections. I think they had 3 sections in the park.
Pinocchio taught me if I smoke, I'm gonna turn into a jackass.
Yeah, well,
Yes, folks, please smash that like button. All right.
the point being was that they demolished those areas. They turned them into nothing areas. Now they're just like little flower areas that are way off to the side or whatever. They don't do anything. They don't function for any purpose. They're just these tiny little sections that are down some ramps and to the side that no longer serve any function. And the smokers have to go all the way out of the park. Now imagine you're in the back of the park. This is an hour-long trek to get out of the park to the area outside the park where you're allowed to smoke, which, by the way, I would like to note is still on the main pathway into the park. So everybody still has to cross in front of you. They still have to go past you, more so than they would have if they'd left those areas in the park, right? Now you have an hour-long trek to go out and spend 10 minutes getting a death stick and then heading back inside. Right?
They're doing it on purpose so they dissuade you from doing it altogether.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you're not
But
going to.
I'll tell you what about Pinocchio. They're full of shit. I've been trying for years. I still ain't grew a tail, let alone ears. This is bullshit.
As far as we know,
I'm smoking as fast as I can here.
That's one example. I went into a bathroom to go to the bathroom at freaking Disney. I went to. There were probably 20 stalls inside this bathroom. Not one of them was usable. I do not know. I'm not kidding.
Then why didn't you just smoke a cigarette in the stall?
And it never used to be that way. Disney used to have the freaking cleanest bathrooms. Within the last 10 years, it has gone to crap, literally and figuratively.
The employees are cranky. The employees yell at you. They're overworked and overheated and out in the
Especially if you're drunk driving on a scooter.
Look, I was not drunk driving that time, Tom. All right, I wasn't. I was sober as shit.
Especially if you're sober drunk driving on a scooter.
I went to park my scooter, right? There's so many scooters parked in this little area. So many little like baby strollers and things. There's literally no place to put this scooter. I go to park a scooter in front of a rock. Looks like a fucking rock to me. I just put this scooter in front of this lady comes out and starts yelling at me. You have to move the scooter. You have to move the scooter. Well, where do you want me to move the scooter to? There's no other place to put it. Go over there. She throws her hand up briefly and then walks away. So I moved my scooter in the general direction she'd pointed her hand. She comes back out and yells at me again. You can't put your scooter there. And I was like, where do you want me to put the scooter? She goes, oh, I moved this scooter 3 times before I finally found a place I was allowed to put said scooter, right? She never communicated with me clearly. She was clearly angry and annoyed at me. I'm a fucking customer, dude. I'm here trying. You have my money. So tell me where to put the scooter.
It's just ridiculous. It's like we're spending our hard-earned money here, and because they're treating everybody like crap, the Disney company is treating the cast members like crap. A lot of them had their hours cut, and this was before all the the beer bug and all that had happened. I would have cast members tell me, I was dependent on 40 hours, and they tell me this week I'm only getting 30 for the next 3 months. How the heck am I going to make that money up? Not that it's an excuse at all, because it's not. Either you're in customer service or you need to find another job. But still, it's like it that trickles, it trickles down, and it's
like
God,
Dick Trickle.
Dude, imagine this scenario. I went into Disney.
Get your heads out of the gutter. He's a race car driver. Sorry, Mary.
I went to Galaxy's Edge, right? Got in line to go into the cantina. They sat my entire family, which was a grand total of like 7 people, down at a table with complete strangers. And they announced to us, I'm not kidding, at the cantina, in order to move us through quickly, right? In order to get everybody in and out as quick as possible. They sit us down at a table with complete strangers, and they inform us, we're all family now. This is your new family.
Share the COVID.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Never met before.
I do not think so. Oh my God, that's nuts.
Dude, my mom and dad take care of 3 special needs adult ladies. They're adult foster care, right?
Mm-hmm.
The tension and the discomfort was palpable. My aunt kept trying to scoot further away. And then, of course, the other one, I'm not going to say their names just for, privacy reasons or whatever. One of the girls is over eager all of the time. And so she talks everybody's ear off. So she's sitting there talking to these people way too much. And so she won't shut up. And my aunt can't get away from them, even though she clearly doesn't want to engage with them. And then the other one is sitting there pissed off because there's no room on the bench for her. And I was like, I'm out. I'm leaving this table. I'm getting a drink and I'm going over to the corner to stand by myself. I left my family alone with the strangers because I could not deal with the incredible.
So did you go tell Disney that you weren't family?
Do what?
Well, you said they forced you into being family. You went and played in the corner. So I was like, you're like, fuck this family.
Actually, what I asked was, hey, do they force you to wear your hair like that? Because all the girls have their hair like Ray. And the girl looks at me manically. I swear she had this manic look on her face. And she goes, no, I chose this.
So she was a man, but she was wearing a man bun without having a man.
She was wearing 3 little man buns. And I was like, do they make you wear your hair like that? And she looked at me like she wanted to stab someone. And I was like, never mind.
You know what we call those in the toxic world, folks? Doorknobs.
Did you get any of those free Galaxy Edge sporks?
Just put that one into perspective, how you use that one.
It was one of the most awkward experiences of my life, but they did it because they move you through like cattle in Disney.
They do. Soul Assassin says Universal looks way better with their attractions. Yes, that's why I'm visiting the Wizarding World of Harry Potter next month. It's going to be off the damn chain.
Nice.
How likely are you going to want to go back there after that experience? I mean,
at Disney, I did no.
Oh, yeah, for Mary.
When I went, I think in December of 2018, it was the worst trip that I'd ever been on, and I said I'm not going back for several years. I might go back in 2021. That's a big, huge might because I plan to be at Universal for quite some time because they seem to be doing things way, way, way better.
See, my parents had 5 season passes for the past, 6-7 years. They've had 5 season passes. Now, keep in mind, my family lives in Kentucky, right? They have a timeshare in Florida that they would go down to multiple times a year, right? And they would stay down there. They spent a month and a half there the last time that we went in September. Okay, they canceled their season their year passes for 5 people because of our last trip down there because it was so horrible. That's just that family. How many other people are over it? Yeah. You lost thousands of dollars.
Hey, Justin. Well, do we have anything else to say that we haven't said about this here? Without
I don't.
I choose you guys as family instead.
Thank you so much.
We'll ride on scooters with you around Disney Park.
I would love to do that. Drunk as hell, yes. Even with Walter's best up my butt.
I want a Laura hanging off the back of my scooter with like a lasso, like just lassoing it in the air.
Oh my God. Trey Courtney says Universal actually takes care of its IPs. Yes, especially Jurassic Park.
I will argue a little with that one.
I had a great time.
I think they did Kong and E.T. and Jaws very much bad wrong. And
I was not happy.
And Back to the Future as well.
I like the ride at Universal.
And I don't care about Harry Potter, so taking down Back to the Future for Harry Potter was just like, fuck you.
I love Harry Potter.
Back to the Future with the Simpsons.
Oh, Simpsons. Okay, same difference. Whatever. E.T. was the one. Okay, E.T. was the one then that got replaced.
But E.T. still has a ride there.
That's pretty cool, though.
And then now, what are they going to do with their Avatar world?
E.T. still has a ride there, though, Tom.
Yeah, but what'd they do with it?
It's great. It was one of the best rides I went on. They put you in like these little.
What did they move then for Harry Pothead?
I don't know.
There was a Kong ride that was there, and they got rid of it. It was really.
They
old.
brought in that stupid Peter Jackson one. I mean, I like the movie, but I wanted. If I'm gonna go see I want the old school fucking Kong in my face, gonna eat me shit.
Dude, it was creepy as hell. He like shook the thing that we were in. It was crazy.
like you were on the L or something like that, and it was shaking the
Oh,
track.
yeah,
but
it's just my own personal.
What is
issue.
it? What is it like in the universe? Is it the Kong one? Is it like the 360 screen that you're going?
That's what they do now.
Yeah, that's what they do now. Yeah,
it was
the same one
like
that's out here in California.
It was like
that was
trek through the jungle. And
And here's the other thing, folks, and this is a tragic fucking story. They had the original one of the original Jaws sharks on the lot for years, and they let it fucking rot away, and they threw it away. They literally threw it away. What? Somebody found it and restored it. Found out, I think it was from Joe Alves or somebody like that it was the original shark, one of the 3 or 4 or whatever. So they restored it. And then they also found out that they let the orca rot away on the back lot of Universal Studios tours.
Wow.
And they let people rip it apart and steal pieces off it. Not a replica, the original orca.
Wow.
Holy shit. Yeah, but you can do magic in Harry Potter world.
I could care less. I'm sorry. I have no love for Harry Potter, and it's not that I hate anybody who likes it. I just it's not my bag.
So you don't have a house, Tom?
No, I could care less. It's Snagglepuss or whatever the fuck I am.
And they didn't get rid of the ET ride.
No.
ET is still there.
Yeah, it's still there, and it's hella fun. You actually go to ET's home world.
It was better than the movie.
Didn't they used to have Terminator 2 the ride there too? What'd they do with that?
They
did have a 3D.
3D. It was like a show, but now the Bourne Spectacular is there instead. So they were
See, and I could care less about Bourne. No offense, folks.
I'm like, I didn't want to see it. I was like, I didn't want to deal with that. Trey says in California, the original Kong ride burned down. That's why it was replaced.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. But they still could have just reconstructed it.
Yeah, because the one in Orlando, they bulldozed the old one, and then they built the new Kong ride that they had, and then they used where the old Kong was to put together part of Harry Potter.
I had a blast at Harry Potter. I really did.
Yeah, I'm House Slytherin, Jane.
I don't see it. I don't see that, Lorena. I think you're far too sweet.
I took the test 3 times, and it said Slytherin.
I'm House Syphilblood.
Or something. I don't know.
I would say
Syphilblood.
I know. I think Lorena's a Ravenclaw.
SYPHIL Plud.
I'd have put Lorena in Ravenclaw.
PLUD.
I don't know.
But the magic hat tells you.
Yeah.
Jane, she speaks.
You know, I know, Jane.
What?
You've been so quiet.
Her and
Well,
Final, man.
Yeah, let's put this next one, which I'm pretty sure.
That's because Final's got to keep an eye on that fucking Death Star behind him. That's no man.
Oh my god!
There we go. There we go.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, here we go.
I hate you. What it is. Thank you, Andy.
I want somebody to take Anakin going, I hate you, and put it over that video of the Star Wars bitches going, I hate you. And then you have it, after she says that, have him go, I hate you.
So Assassin says that's what Slytherins want you to think. They look nice and then put a spell on
What?
you.
Syphilis? There's a house called Syphilis? What?
No, Slytherins.
Slytherins? That don't sound much better.
Slytherins will straight up undercut anybody. They'll sell their own mug.
Why would you fucking admit that? Like, why would you admit that? I don't get it.
Literally, one of the main words to describe them is conniving.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's kind of like the Sith in a way. I never really understood. If you're going to be the bad guy, why announce it?
I refuse to accept Lorena as a Slytherin.
I'll tell you what, when I go there to the Wizarding World and I go get my wand, we'll see what they tell me.
Because in theory, in reality, most bad guys don't realize they're bad guys. They think they're right.
No, tell one of your best friends on YouTube says you're a Ravenclaw and she's a complete Potterhead.
So I'll have to tell him that she said that.
I said you're a Ravenclaw.
Sorting Hat is wrong.
I am the Sorting Hat.
Speaking of trying to sort stuff out,
okay, great transition.
Let's check this one. Hayden Christensen rumored to be series regular on Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series. Let's all hiss.
I just don't understand how.
Progress on the Obi-Wan Kenobi series for Disney Plus has been relatively quiet of late, with a press release for the streaming service suggesting the series would launch in 2022. Several key members of the production have given some insight into what the series will entail. Obi-Wan Kenobi actor Ewan McGregor spoke out how the series would utilize technology similar to The Mandalorian, probably cost more money. And I totally lost my
showrunner.
I know it's hard. It's a hard one.
Also noted how the series would have a coherent voice from beginning to end. So, one much discussed aspect of the series was possibly a return for Hayden Christensen
Unlike
as
the
Anakin
trilogy.
Skywalker. A rumor previously stated the actor would make an appearance in the Kenobi series and that it would be announced at this year's Star Wars celebration when they put the bagash on that. With the event's cancellation, however, it is now uncertain how much legitimacy this claim holds. So apparently, rumor seems to suggest that Hayden Christensen has a bigger role than previously thought.
Now,
no.
My idea is he's going to be like a vision of Obi-Wan. I think Obi-Wan's going to have trouble. He's alone in the desert. I think he's going to have trouble accepting what happened, that he left Anakin to be, to die and be burned up. And I think he's going to be like almost haunting him. Not a Force vision, because obviously, Anakin is Vader at this time, so he still exists. But I think it's going to be in his head, kind of driving Obi-Wan crazy. He's going to have to try to deal with, reconciling what he did to his brother, basically. It's
time travel. Time travel.
Okay. So I'm gonna put my $1,000 in, not just 2 cents. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So first of all, a great mirror to what supposedly we think this Kenobi is going to be is the actual Legends Kenobi novel. He does have not flashbacks, but he does meditate, because part of his assignment when he goes into exile is to train some more and train to become a Force ghost, to learn how to communicate with Qui-Gon. So he has Anakin's saber. He has the chest that he saves for Luke that gives him all the training material that he needs once, Luke comes into the picture. So within that, he has Anakin's saber as well, as we've seen him pull out in A New Hope. He is meditating throughout this novel. There's parts where he's meditating, and he's meditating. He's holding on to the saber. He's trying to talk to Qui-Gon in meditation. He is also thinking back from what had happened, during Order 66 and the fall, and him and Anakin's battle, and what he has done wrong. But will they do something similar to that and bring him showing flashbacks of maybe these meditations with that and him remembering? Maybe I can be down for that, but we really don't need a flashback or even a little scene of Anakin and him interacting while he's in this meditation, because we already know what happened.
Yeah. Well, not only that, the ages are far too off, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you'd have to go through the process of de-aging.
That's not as hard as it used to be.
Yeah, well, good with Leia.
We're not talking about a cameo here, though, Tom. We're talking about them asserting him being a regular person that shows up, right? That's not what we're being led to believe here. Is that this is going to be, if this rumor is true, what we're looking at here is a situation where Anakin is actively involved regularly, right? And so, for that to be the case, you have to assume that what they're going with here is legitimate interaction between the two, which would completely undermine the original trilogy.
I think you're overthinking it there. Honestly,
no,
you could be, because here's my thing with this is why I think this is probably going to be flashbacks, because the Mandalorian opened that door to have flashbacks, and with the technology we have now, you can literally do it for pennies to make people look younger.
But also,
I think there's a 20% chance of that. The other thing this could be, and this is the 80% chance, they may never necessarily interact together on camera, but wasn't there scenes shot for like Rogue One or something like that of Hayden Christensen in the Darth Vader makeup and get up and shit like that, because he took his mask off and they reshot that shit with the other stuff?
Yeah, I think there were rumors.
My guess is we're going to see Vader without his helmet on a few times, and it's going to be Hayden Christensen, and that's what it's going to be. And again, that's what just my guess is. Sorry, I just want to get those out there. 20% chance it's flashbacks, 80% chance it's just Vader with his helmet off.
The Rise of Skywalker, unfortunately, also introduced the idea of visions that aren't Force visions, with Harrison Ford coming back, Han coming back and talking to Ben. He wasn't there; it wasn't a Force vision. It was all apparently in Ben's head. So could they use that and say, well, this is Obi-Wan making all this stuff up and talking to Anakin, having these conversations, trying to get over what he did, even though he's not really there. Anakin.
I think you guys are giving them far too much credit. I don't have.
Well, these are bad ideas, though. These are all bad ideas. I'm not saying this is.
Yeah, but they're better ideas than what they would come up with because you can make logical sense of the stories that you're telling that they're not going to attend.
If I wanted to put these two characters together, then what I would do is I would create some situation where Obi-Wan figures out that someone who escaped Order 66 was in trouble, goes to help this person out or people out, come to find out it's some kind of a trap by Vader, have this kind of sequence where you have, Vader trying to find Obi-Wan, them never meeting up because they can't. And then Obi-Wan escaping this threat.
Well,
you can't put them in the same place
on this is that even in the novel, there's no interaction, and there's no interaction even with anybody in the Empire, like Inquisitors or anything like that, because Kenobi has to be hiding in plain sight. We know that Vader or Anakin cannot return to Tatooine because of a fear of waking up Anakin. However, even if the Empire sends out any of their stormtroopers or Inquisitors, they have contact with one of the most wanted Jedi Masters in the galaxy.
Blow up.
Then they're gonna learn where he's at. They're gonna learn he still survives. When we see him in A New Hope, they are meeting for the first time in a long time. Vader and even the Emperor knows that, there's a possibility he could be alive, but to them, he's dead or he's non-existent.
The assumption is he's dead.
Well, you guys want to know what this original script probably was before it got changed, and I can probably deduce what it was simply because of the whole, it's too much like The Mandalorian with Baby Yoda business.
Mm-hmm.
The original story for this was most likely Luke was still probably pretty young, if not even an infant still.
Yeah.
And what it was is somebody got word that the possible son of Anakin Skywalker was in Tatooine. So they knew that somebody was sending somebody to kill him. So, and this also sets up the animosity between Owen and Obi-Wan to where he knows he has to do something to save Luke. This pisses off Owen because he blames it all on Obi-Wan for bringing this down on Luke's head. But in the process of this, he has to temporarily give up Luke to Obi-Wan for protection. There was probably the similarity between Baby Yoda and Obi-Wan and Mandalore, the whole, the Mandalorian thing with having a baby involved.
See, no, this is a tightrope. This is a tightrope you don't need to walk. It's not necessary.
But now they've had to change that, so it's hard to say what they're going to work on.
That's just it, though, is that bringing, and this is where my problem with bringing Anakin in at all is, at this point, right, is that you are stepping into territory that is going to be a tightrope for you to walk in order to do it correctly. And it's not necessary. There are plenty of internal struggles that Obi-Wan has to face and deal with without dragging Anakin into this, right? Dragging Anakin into this is for one reason and one reason only. So you can have another iconic character to throw up on the screen and try to bring back old fans.
That's all it is. I don't think they're going to interact in any way. I really, truly think the only thing we're going to see is if they actually have Hayden Christensen, like I said, it's just going to be with him in his tank and shit without the helmet and stuff.
If they wanted to bring in Hayden Christensen and Darth Vader, I mean, really give the fans something that they do want, which is to see him hunting down rogue Jedi. Give us that story.
That will be okay. But when you go in and you introduce the Empire
problematic and too much white rage,
or trying to find Kenobi or any kind of interaction, or even an inkling that they discover that the kid of Anakin or kids of Anakin were found out that damn early, that ruins A New Hope because he does not even know that he has any kids until
how is that possible?
Well, that's the whole point is that it has to be the point of the series. If that's the case, either way you look at it, Obi-Wan or Luke cannot be known. So it has to be about them going into some kind of hiding
They just went
in
into
some
they
way.
already went into
Even
hiding.
further deeper hiding, and like because that's what throws them off the scent is like, oh, we checked Tatooine, there's nothing there.
I mean, I just say don't touch Tatooine, don't touch anything about that.
They already kind of,
you know, they have to.
They flirted with that idea in Rebels when Darth Maul figures it out and goes to Tatooine to find Luke because he gets that vision, you know, and then Obi-Wan has to confront him and say, you know, you're not supposed to be here.
And there's
Takes
a
him out.
huge
And that's about it.
There's a huge difference with that because Maul's not even attached to the Empire right now. Point.
Yeah.
So but I still didn't like that at all because
I
I
didn't
still
like it either.
treads on that water there, treads on that sand.
I know.
And it's a hop, skip, and a jump away from Luke being discovered. It
Yeah.
really is, right? The more people that you have know about Obi-Wan being on Tatooine or Luke being on Tatooine, the more you flirt with this line that you don't need to flirt with, because then we wind up breaching that point of plausibility where he remains hidden. It's not necessary. It's just not. And look, if you want to have Anakin go out and be Darth Vader and hunting down the Jedi and have this internal struggle with him and Padme, and you can do that. Do it in its own separate series. It'd be compelling and interesting, and I'd watch the fuck out of it. But don't put them in the same series. You are treading in an area, you're treading water in some deep ass water that you don't belong in. And look, Tom, I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate your willingness to give them the benefit of the doubt. I certainly would like to do that as well. But I mark my words, they're going to stick them in the same room together. I really think they are.
And you think they'll do that outside of the context of a flashback?
Yeah, maybe that.
Well,
and
you know,
with
now
the Kenobi novel, because I read that. That's one of my favorite EU novels that really doesn't have like the full-fledged galaxy fighting Jedi versus whatever. But the Kenobi novel and even the Legend of Obi-Wan Kenobi, when he leaves Tatooine with Luke, it's very incognito. It's very silent. It's very stealthy. And he delivers him. And then he stays there. There's nothing to do with like even the New Republic or the Rebel Alliance after that. There's nothing to do, although that Bail Organa gives him a data pad to communicate if he needs to, like for emergency, because, you know, he has Leia. And then we have, so he gets there and he delivers that. And then at the end of both of those novels, and at the end of Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader, Obi-Wan does find out that Vader survives, but there's no communication. So he like meditates out to Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon finally responds and says that the part of Vader known as Anakin will never want to return to Tatooine for the fear of awakening him. And so he will never return. You guys will be okay. So, because he was afraid he was going to have to go and venture out and take Luke and go somewhere else. So that's the whole problem I get, is that they already explored that in Legends or in the original lore. If possible, Vader or the Emperor finds out about Luke, then he would have to leave Tatooine with him. But we know he doesn't. So there should not be no interaction whatsoever.
Yeah, you have to absolutely nix any thought of interaction between Vader and Obi-Wan is an absolute catastrophe. It's demolishing to the canon. It's this flirtation with it that is not necessary, that drives me batty, right? It's completely unnecessary, right? Fans are already sitting here concerned about the decisions that you're making, and we've messed with canon so much at this point that there is a serious just sort of anxiety that rises in me every single time I hear about them messing with these original characters again. This stuff this isn't a one-off source. This isn't a novel. This isn't something you decided was Legends. These are the main freaking movies that you are messing with now. You need to leave these two as far apart as humanly possible. Do not stick at them in the same series. They don't belong in the same series. And I'm actually concerned about any Force interaction as well. Like, even if it's a flashback, we know that through the Force you can feel when someone's reaching out for you, right? There's this possibility that you're going to tango on that line, and I'm just uncomfortable with it. Just leave it the hell alone.
Well, and you're right, because it also what verifies that is in A New Hope when Vader says, you know, I sense something, a presence I haven't felt since, and he kind of trails off. And you know, he's not talking about, you know, when Ben was trying to reach out to me. It's when he was left to die, when Obi-Wan left him to die. That's what he's talking about. You know, we know that now. And then when he talks to Tarkin, and Tarkin said, you know, he says Obi-Wan's here and the Force is with him. He's like, you know, surely his fire's been extinguished off Vader's sensing this for the first time. He thought he was dead. You know, he had a feeling he was gone. Now he's felt him. He knows he's alive. He knows he survived, you know. Right. So you're right. That's a good point.
That's a good point.
If you could feel him sensing out through the Force, you know, in this 20-year span, I don't think Vader would have the reaction he has in A New Hope.
Yeah.
It takes away that whole development, that whole because it gives me chills when you're talking about that. It gives me chills because you know that last time you seen them, he leaves Anakin.
Yeah, to die, burned alive.
He thought he was dead, and even in the Kenobi novel, and I'm referring back to Legends because that is the original source material. That the continuity in there and how they developed it was so well thought of compared to what we have now. And so it doesn't mess with the movies because back then they kept the movies as the foundation.
Yeah, this is a disaster waiting to happen.
Yes,
I feel like any introduction of outside of a potential flashback, right? And a cameo with a flashback, I can take that. I can take that, something that's happening strictly in Obi-Wan's mind, and that's it. I can handle that. A cameo, but we're not talking about a cameo here. We're talking about several appearances. We're talking about a guest spot that's regular for this character, and that leads me to believe that this is far more than just a memory, a flashback, a moment, right? This teeters on the edge. My concern is that there's interaction, even just mental interaction, is an absolute monkey wrench into the established canon.
The only way to deal.
Yeah.
And
the only way
is like a rumor for right now.
Yeah, I know,
Steven was going to say something. Yeah.
The only way to deal with that properly, in my opinion, would be to tell a story about Obi-Wan on Tatooine and what the journey he's making there, and as far as protecting Luke, looking after Luke, and then mirroring it with a story about Vader and something similar that you can relate to and how he's dealing with a certain story. But no, if these two ever meet before A New Hope after Revenge of the Sith, that breaks canon. That breaks the importance, as everyone has said, of Obi-Wan and Vader meeting for the first time in forever.
For the first time, for the last time.
Yes, for the first time, for the last time.
We also don't know when. I don't think we know when in the 20-year period this takes place. Is it right after Revenge of the Sith?
That's the question.
After, we don't know yet. So
but it doesn't matter no matter what, from the end of Order 66 or the end of Revenge of the Sith all the way to New Hope. It doesn't matter. Like when it starts, there should be no interaction whatsoever.
Oh yeah, totally.
Whatsoever. Not even immediately afterwards, because you open up that can of worms where you potentially he said it earlier, I think it was Final, he said, that moment where a presence I've not felt since, right? And the indication is that moment on Mustafar where he's burning alive and they consider one another dead to each other, and so Vader assumes that Obi-Wan Kenobi died in Order 66, which is what we're all led to believe, and Obi-Wan Kenobi assumes that he died there on the edge of the lava bank in Mustafar, right? And so that's why that moment is so poignant for us, because it was written to be cohesive by George Lucas, who knew what had come before, who knew what he had created, right? But Disney—
No, that's not true, because he knows all about Vader in Episode 4.
Kahari Williams says the Kenobi show takes place 8 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Well, 8 years after Revenge of the Sith. Okay, so by almost halfway point, getting close.
Yeah, so we have young adolescent Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
and the thing with Legends is Obi-Wan, it's similar to the Maul thing. Obi-Wan had to basically duel shortly after Order 66, Asherad Het. And if you guys are very familiar with Legends, he is then Darth Krayt in the Legend comics. And so he had to duel him, and he basically, because Asherad Het was a Jedi, and he also knew Anakin's Asherad Het because he's also a joiner of the Tuscans. He also knew Anakin had slaughtered the Tuscan tribe in Attack of the Clones. And so there's a lot of stake that Kenobi had to do to protect Luke. Asherad, they dueled, he fled, he kept his promise, he wouldn't tell. And then later on, we see him as Darth Krayt, and going one-on-one with Jade Skywalker. So there's a lot of things that needs to be thought there on who can interact with Kenobi. He even sends a potential girlfriend or lover off of Tatooine during the Kenobi novel as well, because that compromises his mission as a Jedi, and he's a Jedi. He's still a Jedi. Kenobi's still a Jedi. Yeah. So.
Yeah, he never abandoned that. Although I kind of wouldn't mind seeing him go through some sort of internal struggle with that on Tatooine. I think that is the compelling story, right? The compelling story about the Jedi Order failed, right? That's the story that I think that we should be sticking to, is this internal real genuine struggle with whether or not it's even worth it to be a Jedi anymore, whether or not he should, right? I love you so much, Laura. That's what's compelling for us, right? Because look, I'm not the only person who Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favorite character, right? And there are reasons for that. Fandom loves Obi-Wan Kenobi because he's the most consistent character across the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, right? He's the character that has, and I think really one of the most compelling story arcs. Like, you love Vader and you love that he comes back to light, and you love Luke and you love that he brings his father back to light. But Obi-Wan is the one who fucking fails hard.
Yes.
Anakin fails so hard, and he must feel the burden and the weight of the responsibility that this must feel like all his fault, right? And he failed as a Jedi, right? And you got to understand, you can even kind of harken back to Ahsoka in some weird ways, that I am no Jedi. She turned her back on that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You've got to feel like that's got to be just this really tremendous burden to bear. I want to see that. I wanted to see it on the big screen. I was willing to accept it on the small screen. Can you please get fucking Hayden Christensen out of the mix? This is not necessary, please.
Yeah, it's just on nostalgia bait right there. It's all nostalgia bait. If you this novel right here, if you listen to Audible, I swear they need to fund fund my channel. Audible, okay, but it's unabridged, so you get the whole entire novel listening to it, and you see him struggle with the meditation, struggle with what we call PTSD with what had happened. You see him struggling to meditate towards Qui-Gon. You see him struggling with not being a Jedi in plain sight, because he's supposed to remain out of sight and in plain sight. And you see all these internal struggles, and then you learn why he looks so aged in New Hope, and how much the Twin Sons has aged him. There's just, it's so dynamic here.
Laura, there's also a struggle between him trying to hide being a Jedi, but seeing things where he feels he needs to help. He should reach out and help people, but also not exposing himself.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He does in here. He does, and so it's beautifully done. I would love to see Legends come in on the big screen. Just say, mark it Legends, and then show us these books on Disney Plus. I would go for it, as long as they don't put it in the new canon, because they'll destroy it when it goes in the new canon. If they just go off the books and make a mini series and go off of Legends and then label it Legends Star Wars and keep true to that part of the original lore, I would be all down for it. But
I'd be fine to see animated versions of them, of the Legends stuff. I'd be totally down to see animated.
That would be preferred, actually. That's what they do get semi-right.
Yeah, so have your Disney canon, then have the Legends, and do like animations on both of them. The fans would love that.
Yes,
and give us two universes. Give us the Legends, and then give them their Disney. The people who love the
Why
Disney.
not? You opened up the veil, you made the whole time travel thing a thing. Why the hell not? We'll accept it.
Yeah, I just know for me, with Allura talking about the nostalgia, I know I don't like this idea of Anakin Skywalker showing up in this, for the same reason that I'm not too keen on Boba Fett showing up in the second season of The Mandalorian.
I'm sorry, Boba Fett should be dead.
He should be slowly digested in the pit, in the Sarlacc belly. That's what was supposed to freaking happen.
But there's rumors that might not, because there's Legends also gets into that, right, Allura, where it's not Boba Fett. It's not Boba Fett with the armor. The armor, because of its the makeup of it, it gets regurgitated, and someone else, the Jawas find it, and then it gets sold, and someone else takes on the mantle of Boba Fett. But it's not Boba Fett.
No, and I can understand that part, but it's like, for those of us who we haven't read Legends, or we haven't read those books,
it's very confusing, and it diminishes.
Yeah.
It diminishes the actual stakes, the stakes that are in place when Luke is being held over top of that plank, and they're saying you're going to be digested over the course of 1,000 years, right?
The problem that's happening right now with the Star Wars universe is the same thing that's going on in the Star Trek universe. CBS All Access has not given anyone decent Trek since they started making them. They just haven't. And then they've attacked and labeled the customers. And then they have this Lower Decks comedy show come out. Everybody's like, no, I'm not interested in this. And it's not because of something new. It's because we don't trust the people in creative control, have not for a while. Same thing's happening in Star Wars. We just don't trust the people in creative control. They haven't created good Star Wars since they started making it. And so I don't trust them to make the right choices in any series. They have to prove themselves to me at this point.
But they don't want to do that. They want to cut corners and
Mhm.
just see, okay, what might sell.
And again, it goes back to
Dipping into the well.
Saying, Jane, it goes
Yeah, let's
back
throw in
to
this
the
character,
fact
throw in
that
that character.
they're not thinking about solid storytelling. They're not doing that anymore, and they don't care. They don't care about the quality of it. It's just put out as much crap so we can sell as much merchandise.
Well, Lorena, they don't have a bunch of books or comics to pull from, so they don't have any.
They're on their own. They're on their own.
Yeah.
It's the great unknown.
No source. We didn't have.
There's
any
no source
material.
None.
No source
No,
material.
that doesn't exist. Stop doing it. That doesn't exist.
God
Laura, put
forbid
it
one
away.
of the
It
little
doesn't
minions
exist.
came back from Barnes and Noble, like, look at all this Star Wars Legends. Throw that crap out. We're not.
No comics whatsoever.
Nothing.
Exactly.
I'll tell
What
you,
is
they're
that?
looking at the bottom line and they're looking how they're bleeding money and they're saying, we need to get money. Let's put Anakin in there. Let's get Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, that's their first idea, though. Instead of saying, "Okay, what do fans actually want?"
Yeah,
Let's
well, that's what
see
they think
what
we
they're
want. They
talking
think,
about.
oh, they didn't like any of the stuff. They said Hayden Christensen should have been in Rise of Skywalker. All right, we'll put him in this. You know, even though like that doesn't make any sense, they're going
No.
to do it anyway because the fans said. See, they don't care to know. They don't care to enough to figure out why the fans are saying what they're saying. You know, he should have been in Rise of Skywalker. That does not mean we want to see him in anything you're putting out.
Yes.
One situation it fit, and the other one it makes no sense.
The Vader comics
out
are doing
why-
great, right?
Like they like Ahsoka. Let's just throw
Yes,
something.
put her in
else
everything.
in it.
Everything that's coming out now is Ahsoka.
The Vader,
Started on the Ahsoka.
the Vader comics are doing great, right? Everybody loves the Vader comics. They've had a blast with that, right? Like, make a Vader show. You want to go to Vader? Okay, well, watch some kind of
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Vader
good
show.
point.
Well, he's a toxic white
go.
male, so that's not going to happen.
But he's the greatest
They do
example of
that.
a toxic white male. Like, why wouldn't they show
Absolutely.
that?
And his merchandise flies off
It
the
would,
freaking
yeah.
shelves
Yes.
at Disney.
Give us stories of Jedi that we never knew that are running in Order 66, build them as great characters, make us love them, and then kill them.
Yes!
Yes.
Make it a straight up
How hard
Vader
is that?
Game of Thrones shit. It'll be great. We'll eat the fuck out of that. I would love some Vader Game of Thrones shit. It'd be
Yes.
awesome. Right? Like,
man.
Vader comes in and bam, right? You could even throw some freaking Mace Windu in there. I'll take some Mace Windu.
Disney
you
would
know
have to
what,
sell
though?
Star Wars for that to happen because
Yeah.
Disney would never do something that great and dark.
Absolutely.
Or the people in creative control need to be replaced. You need to
Yeah.
get rid of the Kennedy hires. You need people in there. That
I don't even know if
care about-
Favreau would go that far, though. I don't think Favreau would.
I don't think Favreau could go that far.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think
He's
so.
got to play politics. But before we go into the next thing, just want to say there's 30 people watching and we have 61 likes. So thank you guys so much. Our chat is freaking amazing. We could not do what we do without you guys. So we absolutely freaking love you. Love you, love you, love you. So you guys ready for our last and possibly the cringiest thing I've seen?
It's 2020. I'm desensitized.
I know it just keeps topping itself. Like,
I
hold my
keep
beer and
getting
watch
shocked
this.
by it.
Hold my
I
beer.
don't know why.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer and watch this.
I don't have a beer. Can I get vodka?
Yeah.
It's straight to octane, Mary.
Or like, one of my
Hold my
ancestors
liquor.
said, tengo mi cerveza y mire esto. Hold my beer and watch
Hold
this.
it all.
In Spanish.
It's gonna be great.
So I have to thank Anna, that Star Wars girl, for throwing this in my feed. So apparently PlayStation released a trailer for a new FMV game and quickly deleted it. And it's called Gamer Girl.
Ooh.
And Anna says, FYI to whoever made this, Gerald Butler's movie Gamer is not the model to follow.
Right.
Just saying. You ready for this cringe?
I didn't know this was even real when I first saw it. I was like,
Girl.
this can't be.
I
thing.
You just gotta say it. If it can freaking start.
It don't wanna.
Don't do this. No, you're supposed to freaking work. Don't make me force choke you.
Do
Don't
it.
make me force choke you.
And use your light whip too, remember?
Yes, that's
Refresh
right.
page,
I have my cool light whip too.
Yes. Oh,
All right.
Peggy,
Peggy.
Peggy, there's a Peggy.
Peggy.
18.
Hey, everybody.
Uh,
Okay, cool. Water time, break time.
Is this a real movie?
Junk has been taken out my stream.
It's supposed to be for a game.
Her junk's hanging out her stream.
Sony.
Moderator, what do I do? Like, do I answer it?
Are you kidding me?
Really?
We should go for a drink after.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah?
I know. What do you guys think? You got that, guys? No. No.
Abby, you're streaming again?
What's it to you? Just gonna make sure he's okay. Okay, let's get out of here.
What?
The hell? Stupid.
I don't understand. I don't know what I just watched. I don't understand
So,
that. That's a game?
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
I
like
guess.
a trailer for a game where a chick, a gamer girl, right? So she's just another little Twitch thought, who apparently gets in deep with somebody who is either obsessed. You get the impression that they're obsessed, but she knows, maybe kind of sort of knows this person. You're her moderator, all right? So it's like for all the moderators, like, hey, everybody who's ever modded for anybody, you have direct control over whether or not this chick goes into a building alone with a psycho.
Is there a tutorial on how to treat your Sims?
That might be a bonus feature. I don't know.
Just
You may have to unlock it.
That's leveling up right there.
Yes.
Just saying.
Wow.
Why?
Wow.
Apparently this got leaked and then it got pulled just as quickly as it was leaked. And you wonder why it got pulled.
What does Gerard Butler have to do with this?
Well, it's like, but that the movie Gamer, where people
Right.
control people in real life and like a Call of Duty kind of atmosphere.
Right.
So I guess they're trying to run with the same thing. But how is this? Look, people are just they're not going to like this, or just cancel it, or it's going to offend somebody. And I don't care if people put out a game. You can put out whatever you want. This looks ridiculous to me.
It's stupid.
It's stupid.
Twitch meets Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes,
That's exactly it.
My question is like, okay, we see like her going into this abandoned ship and all this stuff. So is this going to be like? My question is this reaffirming the attack against the gamer identity that started in 2014? Is this, they're going to enforce the males are racist, sexist, 30-year-old misogynists?
Well, you're going to see an entire army of Twitch thoughts rise up.
Rise up!
They're all going to rise up, and they're going to be terribly offended by your take on them wearing booty shorts on stream.
It's only $5.
It's only $5. I give you great content. You should pay me for it.
That's right. And if you don't have $5 to watch my content, then you need to get a job because you shouldn't be watching Twitch.
So your choices include allowing her to be killed?
It looks like
essentially, or kidnapped.
To be put in
bad. Was it? It was
a human being.
I'm like I'm just dumbfounded right now.
Check on Jack with Susie, or go alone.
So it's like a choose your own.
Which one would I pick?
Why would this be a choice?
I don't know about you guys, but every time I get on Twitch, I A, do it with my phone, and B, I do it when I'm going into some creepy, spooky, I don't know, shut down plant to go check on some guy I kind of sort of halfway know, but I'm not quite sure enough about him to know he's going to murder me in the dark. But I do that on Twitch every time, guys. This is how I roll.
Sam, that is a good question.
That is the question.
Who is this game for?
I figured out who it's for. It's for psychos who want to see Twitch thoughts get murdered.
It's just a rip off of Night Trap. The Night Trap was an infamous game that was on like Sega CD and crap that they had pulled off the market by the like Tipper Gore and all those fuckers, whoever it was, back in the day when they're like, oh, this is just glamorizing murder and then so misogynist.
I kind of want the game now.
It's just
I kind of want to play it on.
It's fucking boring as shit.
No, I kind of.
Oh, you mean this one?
I want the game. I want to play it on Twitch now.
The Twitch Thought game, you mean?
Yeah, I want to play the Twitch Thought game.
You can LARP this game right now. For free.
You can actually rip out this game. I mean, you can do
watch you play it.
Sam says I can see the Mary Sue articles now. I'd read the Mary Sue that day.
I'm so down for this, guys. And if they don't make it, I'm gonna do it myself, right? Like, no, seriously, like I'm gonna call up like a guy friend, right, and get him to wear like a Jason mask and be like, guys, should I go in this creepy building? Just like have him dogpile on me in the middle of the stream and freak everybody the fuck out. It'll be great.
That'd be perfect.
Thanks for inspiring content for my channel, fucktards. Great.
Thank you, Sony. I don't know what intern hit the wrong button, but
hey, Alora, you want to do it together?
Sure.
Oh my God.
Alora's like holding the camera, like, well, Mary's dead.
I'm leaving. Bye.
There's no pause button.
No, I'll tell you how this leaked out. Somebody actually saw this and like, you got to be kidding. This is not real. Oh yeah, it's totally real. Fuck this. We're putting it on the internet. That's all it was. That's seriously what it was.
Like The Last of Us 2 leaks, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And that was like, people were like, somebody needs to know about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this was like just a laugh. Like, because I mean, like, this is not a real game. Like, yeah, dude, it's a real game. You check it. Like, this got passed around the office for like probably weeks. And then somebody no, I'm not kidding. And then somebody just like, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna load it up online.
Because it does look like something made up as a gag.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They probably like, you're not gonna believe this. This is fucking real. Like, we're working on this game right now, and it just getting passed around the office.
They
just got like their little
I swear we were ripping on a couple weeks ago.
Nah, dude, that does look like somebody's little sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, sis, you busy? Can I get like 2 days of your time? We're gonna put you in some elf makeup, and it's gonna be a gag, right? And we're gonna tackle you, but we're gonna tackle you onto a mattress, so there will be no bruises when it's over. I just need like a few hours for a couple of days. Also, I'm gonna need you to look like a whore.
Put you in some booty shorts and it shows off your boobs right there as well. Mm-hmm.
Dance for some money and just dance around, look cute.
Right?
Say, pay me money. Give me
what
money.
do I get out of it? $50 and a carton of Marlboro Smooths.
Does anybody know who's the creator of this game?
Sony.
Yeah.
I mean, like, who actually produced it?
FMV.
Who's the dev?
Whoever
there we go.
Future is. I don't know if that's a real company. Somebody want to do a Google search?
And then Wells, something right here.
Yeah, from a Wales Interactive.
Yeah.
This is just too weird.
It's very weird because let's see, on Steam, PS4. Well, I mean that's the usual suspects.
I want this game. I really want this game now.
We know.
I want to know how many people are going to be streaming this game on Twitter.
Baby Wookiees in a trench coat says she looks like a Hooters remake. Damn.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wait, McKinney says FMV Future, go to their Twitter. They're trying to defend this game and they're getting blasted. Oh my God.
Check it out. Go check it out.
I feel like this is an easy game to make. Literally, all it requires is me.
This is an easier game to do in real life and cheaper.
That's
Right.
why Mary wants to do it.
I say we do it, guys. This is easy, okay? This takes nothing. All right? So I can forego streaming for 2 weeks and get this shit done. It'll be fine.
The rookie critic can just write the script for us and we can just do it.
Right?
Wales Interactive says Gamer
Oh,
Girl
wait.
is about the impact user comments and actions have on a streamer's mental health and well-being. The reason why FMV Future created this game was to raise the issue of the toxic environment which can often appear online behind the anonymity of a username.
Is that on their website?
Here,
What if a moderator can help?
That's our
Hell
Twitter.
no, I'm not letting my moderator online decide if I alone.
Oh yeah, sorry to. Okay, so what was it? Best of luck with it. But as a streamer, I was stalked for 2 years. I won't be playing. Nothing against the game, but I can't put myself through that. Sorry to hear that. The reason why we created the game was to raise the issue of the toxic environment, which can appear online behind the anonymity of a username, and how the support of a moderator can help. It's real and is still happening.
Yes,
That's not what we just saw. That's not what. That's not what's in
That's
there.
not what moderators do. Moderators don't make your life decisions for you. Moderators put a barrier. Like Christy's being a beast in the chat right now, right? She's being an absolute beast, and we appreciate the fuck out of you right now, Christy, because moderators do a couple of key roles, right? They fill a couple of key roles. They make sure that people are directed to the right places in order to continue the sort of networking it is that we do within communities like this, right? So they drop those links. They're the barrier between you and asshats who decide to show up and stalk or harass, mistreat, and do any number of things that, granted, people who have this sort of online anonymity may engage in, right? So yes, those are the two main things that a moderator, if you got a badass moderator, you might have them throwing super chats up in the private chat so you can be fucking lazy, right? Like if you're a huge channel, you may need that, right? But like moderators have never, and I mean, at least to my knowledge, no sane human being would live stream their real life going into some place that's potentially dangerous and allowing a moderator to decide for you whether or not you go alone.
It's like they're acting like they're the guy in the chair, to a superhero. It's like your guy in the van or your guy in the chair. Moderators aren't the freaking FBI. They're not, the worst thing the best thing they should do if something were to happen would be call 911 and that's it.
I guarantee you this comes out of that Gamergate culture, man. This is a game dev who's probably watches Sarkeesian and wanted to create a game to create awareness about the toxic gamers, the toxic fans out there. That's exactly what this is.
Because Sam says, there it is. Activism rears its ugly head.
Yes.
Yep. That's exactly what this is. I don't actually think it's activism. I think somebody wanted to create a horror game that felt realistic and even relatable to certain sect of people, right? And so they decided to go this route. And then when they got called out for that shit, they're like, "Oh, it's about my activism."
Exactly.
So that's what
because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have anything to do with the actual story in the game.
No.
And this isn't even about online whatever. Near as I can tell, this is a person this person decided to meet in real life, right? If you have any sense in your head when you're a social media influencer, when you do things on Twitch or YouTube or Instagram or whatever, you keep your private information private. You reveal that to only a select amount of people. You don't throw your freaking phone number and your address out there. You get a fucking PO box, right? Like they may have a general idea of the city you live in because your PO box is probably not going to be 3 hours away like it is for me right now, but whatever, fine. Like that's personal shit. I'm sorry, got distracted. Anyway, the point is that they may have a general idea of the state and potentially the city you live in, but you don't go meet up with these asshats by your fucking self.
Heck no. It's like
nobody does that.
Not on an abandoned ship.
I love you,
right?
We're meeting in
at
a
night
place. Even when I meet Reina, like even when I meet Alora, even when I meet someone who I deem to feel completely comfortable with, and probably, no offense, like just harkening back to the Jello wrestle, I could beat all your asses. But like even if I felt comfortable enough that I could take this person in a fight. I'm still meeting them in a public place. We're going to Disneyland, where if Lorena pulls a knife, there's like 20 people around right there. Grab her.
Throw down in Toontown Part 2, right?
I was waiting for it.
Thank you for teeing that up.
Yeah, no interest. I have no interest in this game.
It just looks stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just them masquerading as some politically correct game or whatever, as though there's some sort of social agenda behind it. Nah, it's not. You're fucking idiots. Somebody bribed their sister with $50 and a carton of cigarettes to do some shit.
Hey, do the video for me. Sure, why not?
And it looks so cheap. I mean, it's like if it were really for a purpose, like you would have put more time into it.
And it doesn't look like actual gameplay. It doesn't. It doesn't.
I'm sure you wouldn't mind meeting
Look
them.
up a trailer for Night Trap and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Went for family fun, ended up for a family beatdown.
What?
Soul
assassin.
That was crazy.
Oh, I was so mad when they took that video down because that was some entertainment. Oh, he said I would rather play Night Trap over Gamer Girl. Yeah, because it's a real game, like Tom just said. So
It's not like you would think.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to find a decent trailer for it.
Yeah, this is what happens when people have too much free time on their hands going into quarantine, you guys.
Yes.
It is. This is why we drink.
Oh my God.
Well, while Tom probably finds that, let me see if I can put this up. So I know you guys are familiar with the whole what Nick Cannon said, and then what Terry Crews found, came back and you got it? Okay.
25th anniversary edition. It's available on PS Network.
What the hell?
This is a video game, folks. This is Night Stalker. It's about Night Trap, yeah.
Oh my God, those clothes.
It looks more entertaining though.
80s.
Yeah.
That looks fun.
So what's the first thing you think
Is
of?
that girl in a 90s? Oh,
yes.
Yes.
They're trapped
Those
in a
are
house
totally
and their
different
first
game.
thought is to party.
Her eyes,
Of course, this is like the early 90s?
Oh yeah, this is
Something like that. Yeah,
92,
CD-ROM, yeah.
Yeah. This looks a million times better than what we just watched, though.
This actually looks really good because
Hey.
it's actually been remastered. That looks a lot better than it used to.
What are you playing it on? What is this on?
It's available on PS now.
Really?
It was originally on like Sega Dreamcast and all that shit.
I wonder if I could get an emulator for that shit.
Probably.
Honestly, that's like
play that.
That's done in a almost a parody kind of way. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's over the top intentionally. Whereas this
that game was
girls-
banned. Banned.
That game was? Oh, because you said like
Yeah.
Tipper Gore.
I
Yeah.
kind of want
Yeah,
to
but it
tease my hair
doesn't
now.
look like it's they took themselves seriously. Where Gamer Girl kind of does.
Yeah.
Did anybody else does any of the other girls ever like just there get overwhelmed by the urge to go tease the fuck out of your hair? No.
I did it one time.
I used to, okay, so I'm showing my age here, okay, you guys. I used to do the 80s bangs and stuff.
Oh, you had the poodle?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to do it now. I kind of want to play the game and tease the fuck out of my hair and go like full force with it.
And then have your sweater like cut at the neck and have your tank top underneath there, bright
Yes.
sweater with a
the
drape
bra strap showing.
But you have
Yeah.
to fix your teeth
Then
hair
have
with
your
that
tights on.
Aquanet. Like the ozone
Yes.
layer punching Aquanet.
Destroying the
Aquanet.
atmosphere as
Wow.
we speak. Like
That's some quality
and then,
stuff.
while I'm playing it, have Rookie Critic just tackle me from the side.
There you go.
Recreate that whole trailer.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I
Hell
think
yeah.
we would
High
do a
hair.
better trailer than that. Just us three gals for that trailer. I think we would do it much better, and it'd be watched and played. We would be awesome.
Oh,
Y'all should do that.
absolutely.
Y'all should make a mock of that and do it.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Great. Oh my god, that'd be great.
Mhm.
I'd be freaking down for that.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Get everybody, get Christy, get everybody involved. Just-
All of us. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Man, that would be awesome. Okay.
Are we going to talk about my unempathetic melanin now?
Yeah, we can talk about your unempathetic.
What about your melon?
But I tell you what,
Melon
how about we have Terry Crews explain that as soon as I can share my. I love Terry Crews. For folks who don't know, I did a video that I dropped earlier this week where I basically said that Nick Cannon is a prime example of what Terry Crews was talking about when he was talking about Black supremacy. So Nick Cannon serves a very, very real purpose as a bad example held up so you can see it, because so many people said this didn't exist. And I know Mary did a video about it and we talked about it on Toxic Femininity, just how much Terry Crews got raked over the coals.
Yeah.
And I never understood people thinking that it didn't exist when they've essentially become a meme. The
Yes.
whole Hotep thing
Yeah.
has been a meme for years.
That whole theology has been out there for decades.
Can I just point out to Christy real quick in the chat? You were talking earlier about, freaking Anthony Mackie or whatever, riding him like they're climbing him like a 10-foot pole. No, Terry Crews is the one you climb like a 10-foot pole.
Yes!
Okay? That's the one right there.
You see that? You see that? You see
Listen to
that?
my sage advice, Christy, okay? And then look at these two motherfuckers sitting next to each other. This one with the rat on his face on the right. No. Who the hell?
This.
No.
See?
These two next to each other. Not even a choice.
Neither one is my type, but okay.
Told you which one to pick. All right?
It's just ridiculous. It was just nuts. But one of the things, and I hope this plays like I needed to play.
It was a suggestion for Christy, Andrew. I was referring to what she said earlier.
Drew. Oh my God, he's like. But Terry Crews went on to talk and said that he doesn't regret the Black supremacy tweet, and I'm glad he came out with this. So this is definitely worth a listen. If you want to check it out, you can check out the video that I made on my channel. Also check out the ones that Mary did on her channel about Terry.
I compare that tweet to cussing in church.
Oh, wait, let me back up a little bit.
Turn that up.
I compare that tweet to cussing in church. Because what's wild is you have the message, but then if you use a cuss word, nobody's really hearing what you're saying. You know what I mean? The cuss word I used in this instance was Black supremacy. And this is what I want to really, really reiterate to you and explain. My thing was, what I said was defeating white supremacy without white people could create Black supremacy. And this is what I'm talking about. My thing is, in the Black race, in Black America, we have gatekeepers. We have people who have decided that who is going to be Black and who's not. And I, simply because I have a mixed race wife, have been discounted from the conversation a lot of times by very, very militant movements, the Black Power movement. I've been called all kinds of things like an Uncle Tom, simply because I'm successful, simply because I work my way out of Flint, Michigan. And the problem is, and this is the thing, the problem with that is that Black people have different views. What's funny, when you're white, you can be libertarian, Democrat, you can be anything, but if you're Black, you have to be one thing. Even Joe Biden said, hey man, you don't vote for me, you ain't even Black. Right. And so this Blackness is always judged, it's always put up against this thing, and I'm going, wait a minute, that right there is a supremacist move. You have now put yourself above other Black people. And I'm trying to tell you, and then I got told it couldn't exist. And this is the deal. In 1994 in Rwanda, there was a genocide, and it was all Black people.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one sector that viewed themselves as over the other. A million people died.
Yes.
And you know, I was told it can't happen in America. And I'm here to tell you that's the first mistake. Anytime anybody says, oh, that could never happen here, that's exactly when it starts to happen.
Do you regret using the term Black supremacy?
You know, I can't really regret it because I really want the dialogue to come out. Maybe there's another term that might be better, where it's separatist or elitist or something like that. But the thing is that I've experienced supremacy even growing up. I've had Black people tell me that the white man is the devil. I've experienced whole organizations that have viewed themselves because of the suffering of Black people. They have decided that now we are not equal, we're better. And I think that's a mistake. I'm trying to tell you, just the mentality, what we're trying to do, I think a lot of times with the social and economic and political issues we have right now, we're providing those kind of answers. But this is a spiritual problem. Supremacy can't really happen, but spiritually it can. In your head, you can look at yourself and you can develop a dangerous self-righteousness that could really hurt what we're trying to do right now. We have to include this.
He just explained to Karen SJW right there.
Yes, he did. We have to include it right now, because if we don't, it's going to slip into something we are really not prepared for.
Exactly.
Wow, that was powerful.
Yeah, that was.
You know, he's
I was so proud of him because he didn't back down. You know, they asked him, they asked him a very loaded question. Do you regret it? And you know, he was willing to acknowledge the potential for human deficiency there, right? But not to back down from what it was that he was saying. And he said, no, I can't really regret it. And that had to have been very difficult for him. And I'm so damn proud of the guy. I wish I could just hug him, you know, like I wish I could go hug him and tell him how much I appreciate this, because this can't be easy for him.
He's also he came out during the Me Too movement, you know, against the narrative and said, hey, I've been sexually, you know, harassed as well. It's not just the women, it's the men too in Hollywood that get harassed. I don't know if you guys remember that, but he was one of the voices that spoke out. Yep. You know, saying it's not just the women, it's men get this too.
You know what they told him? Stay in your lane and know your role.
Yes, exactly. It goes against the narrative. You know, men aren't weak. Men don't get to suffer that kind of abuse.
Yeah. So he has a history of, you know, of fighting these leftist, well, you know, traditionally leftist narrative with truth, you know, that. Yeah.
See, I don't like the term left. No, and I'm not saying that to shit on you, final or whatever, because I
hear you.
Plenty of people who are, you know, left wing and who have that. Yeah, they're quote unquote liberals, right? Classic liberals are left, right? Who don't have this mentality. This is
yeah. I mean, it's like the far. There needs to be a new term for them. You know, far left.
Far left. That's what I say.
Far left, I guess, because it's not the classic liberal left Democrats. You're right. It's not that.
I call them progressive.
I equate it like this, okay? And I'm probably not going to make any fans with this, but this is how you distinguish the far left and the far right. If they believe that Trump can do no wrong, they're too far right. If they believe every goddamn thing Trump does, even breathing, is wrong, then they're far left. End of discussion. There you go.
Yeah, it's one extreme.
Now, but Trump, look, that's for this moment, right? That Trump hasn't been in office forever. Granted, it kicked up here, but but
the right has never been this fucking nuts either, and the left has never been this fucking nuts either. It's gone to an extreme. Here's the thing: you have 10% on one side, 10% in the other that are fucking nuts, and they're the loudest motherfuckers in the room. The other 8%, 80% of us are purple motherfuckers sitting in the middle, just going, "When are you two kids going to quit fighting?"
What he's talking about specifically in terms of Black nationalism and white nationalism are things that have been around for decades. So it's not new. And what he's talking about isn't new. And it's something that has been a part of the conversation for years, for as long as it's been in existence. I don't think it arose out of this particular movement. I don't even think that it arose out of the white nationalism. I think it simply is. There are people in this world who think that they are inherently superior to other people. And whether it's something that they got from their faith, or whether it's something they got from their family, or whether it's some shit they just decided to make up because of their own insecurities, they have it. They hold it. It's a deeply held belief. It's not something they've been turned on to. That is what they truly believe. And you're not going to be able to talk them out of it. You're not going to be able to dissuade them with persuasion. This is simply who and what they are. And it was just revealed through Nick Cannon that this is something that he personally believes. But it's a larger community that's been around for years. And I guess people didn't know about them. I don't know. But they're not going anywhere, and they don't have anything to do with this, and they don't have anything to do with Trump. It's just that's a segment of our population.
Bye, Willie.
Well said, Jane.
I would say that I think that, current time, like in current year, it's exasperated certainly by this polarization that is taking place between the two sides. But I do agree with Tom. I do think it's like that 10% on either side, right? Whereas the rest of us we land somewhere else on the spectrum, and it was far more on a spectrum for most people, right? And see, I don't even know. I can appreciate people who are purple, who sit in the middle. I don't consider myself purple. I figure I'm
no, but I mean, there's that extreme. You know what I mean? Like, there's extreme and the extreme, and then most people are kind of like, most people have what's generally considered common sense, but they're being just so fucking just brainwashed by the media and movies and TV into thinking they're nothing but white supremacist, racist, istophobes who think, breathe, and act nothing but sexist, misogynistic, racist thoughts on a daily basis, and they need to cleanse themselves. They've literally gotten everybody so brainwashed to this point where I've actually said this before in another podcast where I was talking to a friend of mine who was black and a little older, and he said, you know what? I think where a lot of this is coming from is a lot of these young black kids, they've been so used to handed everything their entire lives. They've never really dealt with any real racism. Now that things have been so heated in the last few years, they've really felt some real racism, or at least a little bit, but not nearly what, this person had felt and what, his parents and so on had felt down, through their ancestors. And they're just taking it to the extreme. And it's like, we're at a point in our life where America's not only the least racist country in the world, but where that, as far as he was concerned, things were at the least racist and the most equal they've ever been. But it's the media and everybody else feeding into this shit. And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, dude, look. He's like, he goes, when's the last time you saw a white boy walk up to a black man on the street and call him the N-word?
That's not what they're dealing with, though. I mean, the people,
no. But his point was,
it depends on where you are.
Right.
If you're a kid living in the inner city and you're getting pulled over for walking up the street the wrong way,
and he did bring that up.
You're going to be a bit pissed off.
Let me finish, please. So, though, sorry. He did bring up the cops and stuff. He's like, right. He goes, there's this thing with the cops, and that's there, and that's real. And as growing up as a black man, that's something we have to deal with. And he goes, of course, I've walked into stores and been followed around and all this kind of crap, but that's nearly nothing like, being chased down by a mob of white people and lynched, or just simply walking down the street and being called the N-word on a regular basis, like his grandparents had to deal with. He said,
no, it's not comparable to having your church bombed.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But you don't know. I mean, to one individual person, what their experiences are and how those experiences.
That is true.
I do think that this generation is a lot weaker in some ways.
But he was getting, his major point was that he doesn't think it's a race issue. It is a class issue. And when the middle class was destroyed, this caused an issue where there's the elite 1% and then there's everybody else. But and this also made sense to me in another way when I see things like Brie Larson and the way she thinks and acts and all these other people. They think there's this white privilege because they've had nothing but white privilege handed to them their whole lives. It doesn't compute to them that there are people out there who could be black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever culture, and still have the same problems as everybody else, and they don't have any more leg up than anybody else in the world unless they're mommy and daddy or somebody special.
Well, it's always been a class issue, though. I mean, that's
what he's saying. He's saying
from the very beginning.
He says they're equating a racial thing with a class issue, and it's not the same thing.
It has always been a class issue. It's just that because of Black people traditionally being more percentage-wise in poverty, it's been tied in with race, but it's always been class. Even during slavery, it was about class. It's always been about money. Yeah. Green trumps white and black.
Exactly, because for both the case of Jane and myself, we both have had ancestors who were free blacks
Mhm.
in the South during slavery. And I know in the case of my family, some of them actually owned slaves themselves.
Mine did too.
Completely, because slavery was an economic institution. It was about money. If you didn't have slaves, slaves represented money. If you were free, you wanted slaves. Why? That gave you money, and that gave you prestige, and
That gave you
it
power.
gave you
Right.
power. That's exactly right. It gave you power. It was completely economic. There are cases where you had Africans who were enslaved came over to the Americas, especially in the Spanish and the French colonies. They turned around, got their freedom, used that money, enslaved other people at the same time. So yeah, that was there. But Tom, I get your point, because that's actually something that my grandfather had told me, before. It's like a lot of the freedoms that you have, you take for granted, especially with civil rights or freedom you take for granted. It's not like it was back in the day when he was in the segregated military, and it was nothing in regular conversation for people to,
Well, and
for
that's
white
what he was
people to
bringing
call
up
him
too.
the
Yeah.
N-word every other day.
Yeah.
And
And that's what he brought up too. He's like, he's like, even in the South, things aren't nearly as bad as they were even 20, 30, years ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, these kids nowadays, they just don't know. And he also felt, he goes, I don't even know if they know what they're fighting for. He goes, they're just out there because,
Yeah, I don't think a lot of them even really know their history. And that's part of the problem.
Well,
They
I think
don't
that's part of
know,
the
and
problem
that's
with the country as a whole. People don't know history
Exactly.
at
Yeah,
all.
that's a big yes.
Absolutely. They
There
really
is
don't.
well, and that's the education system at work right there.
Well, if you guys been following me on Twitter, just talking about the native issues just in recent, and like I've explained, the stuff with the Black Hills, even with the Mount Rushmore, this has been something that's been going on way before this ideology first came about in this modern times. We've been fighting, protecting our sacred lands for a very, very long time. And that even goes with some mascots. Now, I don't agree with all of them, but some mascots that teeter on that, on the point of racism and how it doesn't represents our people and has caused trouble with our youth growing up with self-image, the Redskins. Yeah. So, and people think, oh, well, this is just something new. This is their cancel culture. No, this has been going on since Redskins became a team. So that's the point, is that there are some things that are genuinely being fought for that now our kids may not know as much history about it. And this all goes into the how they wrote history and how they taught history, because a lot of people don't even know what the term Redskin really means. They think it's honoring us. No, it's not. Redskin is a term that basically is used for bounty. The government said, here's some money, or you want some money? Go kill that Injun over there. Bring us that Redskin back.
And that I didn't know. So I'm really glad
government used to pay for human pelts.
Yes, exactly. So and like the women's body parts were worth a lot. So think about that. So the term Redskin is something that is not honoring us. For like traditionally we would say, like, we have the medicine wheels of red, black, white, yellow. That to us as natives in our culture represents the four main human races: the white, the red, the black, and the yellow people. But the term Redskin in the history of the development of Americas is basically really a racist thing. So I am not a bounty. I don't look like that person that's represented there. Not every tribe looks like a Plains Indian. Yes, I'm
exactly.
So that's
so true.
Yeah. So I think that everybody doesn't know history, doesn't know, and it's instead of fighting this cancel culture how they are, they need to go ahead and fight the education system on representing all sides of the story.
Well said.
I agree.
Yeah,
Well
totally.
said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, going along with that, and we've gone for like over 2 hours.
Yes,
but we'll wrap up here. But
Charles.
Let's hear this from one of my favorite people, Charles Barkley. Let's put a smile on your face.
Listen, Deshaun Jackson, Steven Jackson, Nick Cannon, Ice Cube. Man, what the hell are y'all doing? Y'all want racial equality. We all do. I don't understand how insulting another group helps our cause. And the only person called y'all on it was Kareem. We can't allow Black people to be prejudiced also, especially if we're asking for white folks to respect us give us economic opportunity and things like that. I'm so disappointed in these men, but I don't understand how you beat hatred with more hatred. That stuff should never come up in your vocabulary, and it should never come up in your heart. I don't understand it. I'm never going to accept it. And I'm asking you guys, I'm begging you guys, man. You guys are famous. You got a platform. We got to do better, man. I want allies. I don't want to alienate anybody. And to take shots at the Jewish race, the white race, I just don't like it because it's not right. And I had to call them on it because it's really been on my heart.
You can't fight racism with racism.
Here's the problem. They are not trying to fight racism with racism. They are espousing racism because they're racist. These people don't want racial equality. They never have. That's what racial supremacy is about. So I hate that he's conflating again, and I think Terry Crews did it too, the general population of Black people with this specific subset of Black people who believe a certain way. If you want to call someone out, call out Louis Farrakhan. Call out the Nation of Islam.
That's a very fair
that's
point.
where they're
That's the
getting
same,
it from.
yeah, because that's the same thing as basically them insinuating that every white person's a racist just because they're white. That's a very good point.
Right. Well, and look, and it's true. I agree. Like they don't want to hold hands and sing kumbaya, right? They don't want to be friends with people because they are in fact themselves racist. I agree with Jane 100%. This isn't about racial equality to them. This is about supremacy to anyone who espouses something like that. Exactly. That is the telltale sign of a legitimate racist. They don't want to be your friend. They don't want to work with you. They don't want to get along. They have no interest in genuinely caring about who you are as a human being because they think they're better than you. And that is racism. They don't want to see racism fall because they are themselves racist. And it's one of the things that has always sort of baffled me, right? Because why would you? I really don't understand it. Why would you block off someone solely for the color of he has it so right. Barkley, right? That's his name. Barkley, basketball player, right? Am I right?
Barkley, yeah.
I tried. I did it. Yay!
That's terrible. That's terrible. How'd you forget his name?
I want to go hug this guy. I want him to be my brother, right? I want to go hug this person, and I want to be friends with him. Why? Because he wants to be friends with me. Why can't it just boil down to that? Why can't we? Like, I know that there are always going to be people out there who are racist. I know that we can never completely eradicate that, right? But why can't we all just be allowed, for everybody who wants to, right? Why can't we be allowed to hold hands and sing kumbaya? Why am I not allowed to be friends with Reina? Why is that a problem? Why do you have to put this divide between us? Why do you have to make it so fucking difficult? You guys can kiss my ass because I'm hugging the shit out of her when I see her, right? You guys can kiss my freaking ass. You can take this supremacy, which is so rightly called out here, and go shove it up your ass, because most people, and I truly believe this in my heart of hearts, even if some people go about it in a bad way or in the wrong way, I truly believe that most people want us to be friends. And so the trick is just finding the right route to get there, finding the right way to get there. And I'll tell you, one of the ways I think the best way to get there is just go find yourself a person that doesn't look like you and hug them, right? Probably got to give them first. Probably ought to give them a little warning.
Or just be a decent freaking human being. Like, it's so frustrating because all of that's not necessary. Just don't judge people you don't know. How about that?
Well, I think, Terry Crews said it where he said it's a spiritual issue. It's an issue of the heart where people aren't doing that. They're not treating others as though the golden rule, treat others as how you want to be treated. And it's a spiritual thing. They're not doing that. And it's prideful and,
And let's just stop assuming the worst of one another, right? I think that'll get you a lot further than most people think. Like, a lot of people, if you don't genuinely know someone,
whatever, finals a shifty motherfucker. I don't care.
if you don't know someone like that, don't assume the worst of them. That'll take you a long way, right?
Dang you, Steve.
Right.
And Steve is right, of course, as always. They were Vikings.
I think
guys.
Who's the last point, and then we can wrap up. Go
Thanks.
Steve.
I think it comes down to personal insecurity and lack of self-responsibility. is really where I think a lot of it comes from. You know, if you need to feel superior, if you need to make an excuse as to why you're superior than someone else, then you're a very insecure person. That's my thought on it.
Absolutely. Well, folks, my goodness, we've gone longer.
Does that mean I can no longer think I'm sexually superior than everybody else?
You just keep going, Tom. Keep rocking.
You know, I think a lot of people have to ding themselves.
Stay sexy.
That goes.
I'm a sexual tyrannosaurus.
Hold on, that's the Shenanigans Improv. That's improv. Writing it down.
Everyone,
that's from Predator.
Thank
anyway.
you so much, everybody, for coming. Oh, Tom, do you have one more thing?
Oh no, I was just letting Mary know that was from Predator. I didn't make that up.
But the Tyrannosaurus has notoriously small hands, so I don't know if that's.
You know what they say about small hands?
I didn't.
I don't.
Small penis?
Big tail.
Well, everybody, first of all, thank you so much for hanging with us. Big, huge props to Christy, who has been holding it down.
Yes,
the mod
thank you,
extraordinaire,
darling.
throwing out all the links and all of that. Just awesome, just amazing. So, first of all, why don't we just go around the panel? We'll start with Final. Just shout out where you are, where people can find you, your channel, and all
Stig.
of that. For the-
Oh my God.
Do I want it?
Tyrannosaurus erection.
Steve, I love Steve. This is why.
I'm
gonna
gonna
worry the whole stream.
I'm gonna make a Bud Light Real Men of Genius just for Stieg.
Go ahead, Final.
Final Death Star. You can find me on Final Death Star and on our normal TR4 show on Tuesdays at 3:30 on Stephen Walton's channel, who's also in the panel here, and then on Saturdays, typically on Saturdays. I think next Saturday we're on John Talks. Every third Saturday of the month we go to John Talks, right? Yeah. So next Saturday we're on John Talks, so you can find us there. And on Instagram, Final Death Star, and on Twitter, Final Death Star 1. And I've got videos, dealing with pop culture and all this stuff we've talked about today, basically. So check me out. Thanks for having me on, guys. This was a lot of fun. Mary, it's been a long time to stream with you. OG.
Are you assuming that I went to check you out? Are you assuming that I am a homosexual?
We got to fix that, Final. We got to fix that. Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you the LGBTQ 1000?
That's awesome. Well, next up, let's go to Jane.
What does
Hey,
it
guys.
do?
In addition to finding me with the Rogue Entertainment crew, you can find me here on YouTube, where I post weekly movie and television reviews every Sunday at 6 Central, as well as some occasional pop culture news and commentary. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jane Theory. And if you enjoy Game of Thrones, you can catch me discussing Winds of Winter predictions on Mondays at 6 Central, and on our Song of Ice and Fire book club on Wednesdays at 6:15 Central on Sporking News Podcast.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jane. And next up, OG Star Wars.
Woo! Well, hello, you guys. I am your Legends girl, trying to make it in this discounted world, as you can tell with my little rant about the Kenobi and Hayden Christensen. All right. So you can find me on Toxic Femininity Monday nights on Midnight's Edge After Dark. You can find me on Bay de Menace once a month. And you can also find me on Queen's Council. And every single one of these ladies, Jane Theory sometimes as well. I will, I'm on shows with them that I mentioned. And I do Thursday mornings coffee chats. I do Star Wars original lore review, and it's all about George Lucas era of Star Wars, as you can tell by my rant. So thank you guys so much. I loved being on this panel with all of you guys, and thank you so much for hosting this, Reina.
Oh, no problem. Happy to do it.
Been a badass stream.
Next up, we have Tom.
What do I say?
What? Oh, what Jane said. Go with that.
We don't have this
That's
is
a
why
good
we don't
plan.
have nice things, Tom.
That's a very good plan. We didn't make a plan, so I'm going to go with what Jane said.
Okay, so folks, just
All right.
remember what Jane said, or go back if you're watching the replay. Just go back to what Jane said and then do that, and that'll be Tom. Seriously, Tom, really?
You know I do this on purpose, right?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Lord.
Next up, why don't we have Stephen? Why don't you tell the folks where they can find you?
Hi, everybody. I'm author Stephen Walton. Please come check out my channel. Also, check out TR4 plus a gaze. We're inclusive now on Tuesdays. Beginning your Fandom Menace Tuesday nights. And come check us out this week on John Talks, his final set. We're going to have Rogue Entertainment there. Looking forward to that, hanging out with him. I also do the Pegasus Actual Podcast with Supreme Heretic on his channel. We do a retro review of Battlestar Galactica. I just have a lot of fun on that show and just kind of lean back, talk about something that we love, which is something that's also missing. I'm also doing retro reviews with Tommy, the Guinea Pig Collective. I think that's going to be on Mondays. So come check that out. Please subscribe to everybody on the panel if you have not. We rise together. We support one another. And thank you to everybody for showing up tonight. Thank you to the Toxic Femininity crew for coming and hanging out. Thank you to Reina for having us here and us getting together and doing this. It's been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to more work with everybody. And thank you very much. I am author Stephen Walton, the Fandom Menace historian, your historian, born in the chats of the High Council with my brothers and sisters fighting for our modern mythologies. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Be good to each other. Peace.
Stephen, why do you always go off camera when you say that? I want to see you. I want to see it live. I want to
You know what?
enthusiasm.
Because I love this avatar. Stephen Wayne Art made this for me while he was going through chemo. And it means a lot to me. Stephen Wayne Art is the guy who did the What Should Have Been. That was real famous about a year ago. He's a big supporter of the Fandom Menace. He's an artist. He's done a lot of revision stuff for the whatever it was called, those books that were coming out, the High Republic, and it means a lot to me. I mean, this guy was going through therapy and basically surviving something that could have killed him, and made this for me. So whenever I'm shouting out the people where we met, like the High Council and the Fandom Menace, that's what I like to show, because it means more to me than just an avatar. That's somebody's life that they put into that.
Okay, I thought you worked yourself up into a frenzy and just got embarrassed.
I was
that's a much more sentimental reason. So
I assumed the wash your ass came from like you definitely need to after the coffee enema.
That's what I was going to say. Coffee enema.
Coffee enema. Boom ready.
That started when the bug first started, and everybody was like, "You've got to make sure to stay clean. Remember to wash your hands. Remember to be clean when you get home." And then my buddy, who's an EMT, my buddy who's an EMT was telling me that every time he comes home, he goes in through his back door into the basement, and he actually gets undressed in his backyard and takes a shower, and then de-germs himself in the basement before he even goes up. And I was like, wow, that's a lot that these EMTs and the people that are working in the emergency services, the essential services go through to take care of one another. So that's kind of like my homage to him. Wash your ass. That's what that comes
I love
from.
it.
All right.
So I'm still gonna assume it's from the coffee enema.
Oh, they're cookies.
Yeah, exactly.
Jane Theory.
Best part of waking up is coffee in your butt.
Yeah.
All right, flip that, you guys.
Oh, you know I will. The Theory did that. Let's bring up Mary Mayhem.
Oh, hi guys, it's Pixelated Mary. Because the internet here sucks. Hi guys,
Along comes Mary.
I am here. I am Mary B. I am the mistress of mayhem, disruptor of the narrative, and official Wham and card holder. You can find me over on my channel, Mary Mayhem, where I talk about easy new stuff during the week. You can also find me over on Midnight's Edge for Toxic Femininity, as well as Geeks and Gamers. So feel free to come and check me out. My corners are getting all beat up from when I throw the cards. That's about what I think about the female card is fuck it, So
I hear ya.
Oh no, it's on the corner. Now I gotta dig it out.
Oh my god, guys.
Her card canceled herself.
Yeah. I'm done with it. I'm out.
I'm gonna have to move my desk now.
Well, everyone, I am Reina Creole on Twitter and Reina Creole on YouTube, bringing that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis. You can find me usually here on my channel on Sundays, streaming at 8 p.m. for everything from Welcome to Florida live streams to Game of Thrones to special panels like this one, where we bring together Toxic Femininity and Rogue Entertainment, which has been absolutely fabulous. And I'm so glad you guys joined me on my channel. You can also find me on Tuesdays. Oh, sorry, let me back up. Mondays at 10 p.m. for Toxic Femininity with Mary Mayhem, OG Star Wars, and Tom over on Midnight's Edge. On Tuesdays at 6:30 over on author Stephen Walton's channel for TR4 Plus a Gaze. Also every month for the Babe de Menace on Mary Mayhem's channel with Mary Mayhem and with OG Star Wars, also with Nina Infinity as well. And on Thursdays, 7 p.m. for This Week in BS on Justin Proper's channel, 9 p.m. for the Queen's Council, and on Saturdays at 7 p.m. for Rogue Entertainment. I know that's a mouthful, so just watch the crawl at the end and you'll pick up where my shows are. Again.
Ooh, can I do it? That's what she said.
I say that we like start a petition to literally just go ahead and give Lorena the title, the hardest working woman in.
Yeah.
Yes, it's gotta be an official title. Like we gotta start. No, we gotta do her like the whole straight up Khaleesi shit. Like we gotta start giving her titles like left and right. So
Right.
like the screen as it goes along. Like freaking first lady of the fandom. No, wait, that's hold on. What are we gonna do here? I'm gonna come up with some shit. Okay, I'm gonna come up with some shit. And the hardest working woman in the fandom menace, and then I'm gonna come up with Queen of the Panders, you know, Slayer of jackasses and something else.
Oh my god, I freaking love that, Mary. I can't wait. So, yeah, I think I need a PA to tell me what freaking show I'm on, what day, because it's going to get really hard to keep track of. But I just love doing it, and I love just connecting with the fandom, and the fandom menace is just awesome. This whole panel has been awesome. I hope we can do it again sometime. The chat, you guys are awesome. Thanks for putting the links out, telling people, share the stream, please like the stream. I think we're like at 62
Nice.
likes. So yeah, awesome. So guys, thanks so much. Take care of each other. Have a great evening, and we will see you around.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Kiss my entire ass.